With the new 8-speed dual-clutch 2016 Acura ILX. Catch it if you can.
What a day to go to the ballpark with your pop. Have a good time. Go to Rogers Center. Enjoy an afternoon game. It's a beautiful afternoon, and the roof is wide open. This is an early start for the White Sox. Probably a good thing, given the tough luck loss last night. Get back on the field and get right after them in a hurry. The Blue Jays won at 10-9 with a walk-off home run last night. Let's take a look at the lineup for Chicago. Adam Eaton is in the leadoff spot. And the former Blue Jay, Melky Cabrera, this series against the Blue Jays, he is 3 for 8 with an RBI, and the White Sox haven't mustered much offense. Down in that fifth spot, Alexei Ramirez, the shortstop, over his last 7 games. He's been a hot hitter, 9 for 27, a .333 average. With 3 RBIs, they're set to take on Marco Estrada.
Who takes his 5th turn in the rotation after starting the season. The Blue Jays bullpen. He delivered his longest outing of the season last time out, 7 innings versus the Mariners. That was his longest outing since April 26th of last season.
Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's in the dirt for ball 1, and we are underway. Adam Eaton scored a couple of runs last night. He finished up the ball game 1 for 4. He had a single in the 8th inning. There's a strike right at the bottom of the strike zone. 19 degrees on a beautiful breezy day here at Rogers Center. There's a pop down the left side. You're going to have to pursue everything because the wind's blowing. You don't know how it's going to affect these baseballs. Neither team hit today on the field, so players haven't had a chance to see any of those fly balls hit with the breeze blowing here.
There were players out on the field today. They were out taking ground balls and some fly balls, getting some work in, but no batting practice.
There's that changeup, and that leads to the first strikeout of the afternoon. Let's take a look at the defense behind Marco Estrada. It's a shaky defensive day last night as the Blue Jays committed 3 errors. Colomelo, Pilar, and Carrera from left to right in the outfield. Josh Donaldson is at third base. Reyes and Goins up the middle. Goins starting at second. Edwin Encarnacion at first. And Russell Martin back behind the plate. This is Melky Cabrera. We mentioned he's 3 for 8 in this series and tries to bunt.
You mentioned Ryan Goins at second base. He entered the game in last night's game after Steve Tollefson left, tweaking his groin in that game. Ryan Goins came into the ball game. He's played a great defense for the Blue Jays this year. He's played some shortstop. He's played some outfield at second base. It's where he's the most comfortable.
There's a changeup lifted into right field. Ezequiel Carrera is there. 2 quick outs. So that'll bring Jose Abreu up to the plate. He struck out 3 times, but he also had a big home run off Dickey.
Yeah, he's able to do that. That was a 3-1. It looked like a 2-seam sinker, trying to get the ball down and in, trying to get Jose Abreu to roll over on that ball. It was up. He has hit in 19 of his last 21 games. That was a big blow for the White Sox yesterday.
8 homers and 27 RBIs for the big first baseman. Marco Estrada's pitching with a lot of confidence right now. And the extra work, the fact that he's making his 5th start, just gives him that much more confidence in all of his pitches. This is popped up. Encarnacion stays underneath it, makes the catch. Good start for Estrada. Just 8 pitches, and he retires the side in order. Josh Donaldson had a huge game last night. 2 home runs. He got 4 hits. He scored 5 runs in the game, including the walk-off winner in the ninth. They've scored 252 runs, and they've outscored their opponents in the month of May by 20. They're still looking to get to 500. Let's take a look at their lineup. Reyes at the top of the order. Josh Donaldson, 6th career walk-off home run last night. He also became the only player in the major leagues to score 5 runs in a game this season. Russell Martin in the 5th spot against Jeff Samardzija, 6 for 19 with 3 doubles. Martin back in the lineup behind the plate this afternoon.
Against Jeff Samardzija, takes that 4-game unbeaten streak to the mound. He hasn't lost since April the 29th. That was at Baltimore. Samardzija has been an Iron Man for the White Sox. 8 innings in his last 2 starts.
Samardzija made his first start last season for Oakland against the Blue Jays. He had just been traded over to Oakland, and Blue Jays saw him actually join the ball club in the middle of the game on the previous day. That's a fair ball. Just inside the bag. Reyes is headed for second. J.B. Shuck will get it back in. And how about Reyes? Boy, he is setting the table very effectively.
He had a double in his first game back, the first game in this series when the Blue Jays scored 4 runs in the first inning. This is a breaking ball, and I'll tell you, his hands are so quick. He pulls that ball right by Jose Abreu down first base, down into that corner. Extra bases, same type of swing that we saw last night from Reyes in the 9th inning to really set up that whole inning with another double. That's 3 in this series for Reyes.
Boy, that's a great perspective, that home plate camera. Abreu was guarding the line. Josh Donaldson. He homered on the first pitch he saw in last night's game off John Danks, and then capped it off with a walk-off homer in the 9th.
Boy, what a day. Just good at bats, professional at bats. He'll pull the ball if he needs to. He'll hit the ball to right field if he has to. He was the first Blue Jay to touch the plate yesterday and the last one to touch the plate. What a game that was.
He's only the 3rd Blue Jay to have a home run in the first inning and a walk-off home run to win it. Otto Velez and Reed Johnson are the other 2. Velez in '80, Reed Johnson in 2003. Boy, it's so unsettling for a starting pitcher to have a runner in scoring position in the first inning.
First batter. You get right into your stretch, and then you're staring in, and you're looking at Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, and Martin. I mean, that's why the Blue Jays have been so good scoring runs in that first inning this season.
The high fly ball. Reyes is going back to second to tag. Melky Cabrera, the left fielder, calls for it, and Reyes stops and holds at second. Well, let's take a look at the defense, and the White Sox, they were shaky in the field last night as well. It is Cabrera, Eaton, and J.B. Shuck from left to right in the outfield. Porter Beckham's had a good series defensively at third. Ramirez and Sanchez up the middle. Abreu at first, and Giovanni Soto back behind the plate this afternoon for Jeff Samardzija.
Giovanni Soto is the 2008 National League Rookie of the Year when he was with the Cubs. This is his 17th start this year, 8th catching Jeff Samardzija.
Jose Bautista got overshadowed just a bit by the great night of Donaldson, but Bautista had 3 doubles in the game for the first time in his career. He also tied his career high with 5 RBIs. He had a terrific game.
And you know what was impressive about those doubles? They were to right field. He doesn't have to pull the ball to be successful.
Keeping their eye on Reyes. Samardzija with that inside move. Bautista has driven in 8 different times in his career. It's the first time he drove in 5 since 2013. The 3 doubles in a game, there's only been 6 major leaguers that have had 3 doubles in a game this season. Up and in. This is what's so challenging for opposing pitchers is Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion. You can grind on one of them, and then you make a mistake to either one of the next 2, and you could be behind early.
Yeah, very early. That's exactly what John Gibbons was telling me yesterday before the ball game. Is you get Bautista back, and it's just tough to navigate through these Blue Jay hitters because they're good hitters. They don't swing at pitches off of the plate. And it makes the people behind them, I think, even more dangerous because you've got to throw every pitch with purpose and conviction, and you got to really grind through these guys. The guys behind them, you can't take a break.
Breaking ball on the 3-1 count. It's good for a strike. Bautista has 31 walks. That's second in the American League to Carlos Santana of the Indians. Full count, one out. Reyes with the leadoff double. Changeup. He was out in front, but got a bat on the ball.
Well, multiple producers, RBIs in their rank. How about Josh Donaldson in the number 2 hole? He's got 33 RBIs. That's 5th best in the American League. And then Encarnacion and Bautista, 32 and 30 apiece, 7th and 9th in the American League. It's a lot of production from the middle of your order, making it very tough on that pitcher.
There goes Reyes. The ball is lifted into center field. Reyes has to retreat. Eaton waits on it. And Jose will get back safely to second. Bautista's retired on the fly ball to center. Edwin Encarnacion will step in with 2 outs. Edwin was 0 for 4 in last night's game. First pitch strike right at the knees. Reyes with the leadoff double, still at second base, and Blue Jays have come up with some big hits with 2 outs. There's another changeup. That's that split finger pitch he throws.
Right.
It's a very good off-speed pitch.
Yeah, the splitter, they're only hitting 250 off of that split finger fastball. He's got a little bit of everything that he will feature. He's a good pitcher. Again, his only win versus the Blue Jays was in his only start. You mentioned it last July when he was a member of the A's. He only gave up 1 run, 1 earned run and 4 hits against Toronto.
Over 7 innings of work. Blue Jays got 2 hits in the first inning and couldn't capitalize. As Marja got a double play to get out of that first inning. That was his first start, and that was the final game of a 4-game series against the A's in Oakland, and the A's swept the 4-game series.
That really started the Blue Jays on a downward trend, didn't it?
That was the beginning of the end for sure. 1-2. Off the end of the bat, bounce towards short. Ramirez waits on it, fires to first in time. Jeff Samardzija pitches around the leadoff double. We played an inning. It's a scoreless game.
watch live or on demand in True HD. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and much more. It also includes a free @Bat15 subscription. Watch baseball at home, at the office, or on the go. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Guys, lots of afternoon action today, including Prince Fielder and the red-hot Texas Rangers down to the Cleveland Indians thanks to a home run from Nick Swisher.
Well, don't count on the Indians leading all day long because Prince Fielder is on fire. He's got 14 hits and 15 RBIs in his last 5 games.
Is that good? 15 RBIs in 5 games?
That's pretty good.
Wow.
He's hitting .402 in the month of May with 28 RBIs. Adam Roach goes after the first pitch and lifts a fly ball to left. Colabello getting twisted around. It's a windy day. You got to keep your eye on those baseballs. And Colabello retires LaRoche.
That ball is going to slice to the line. Looked like he went back to his left and then realized that ball was going to slice towards the corner and got turned around.
Shortstop Alexei Ramirez steps in with 1 out. Ramirez, over his last 7 games, hitting .333. Average at .252 for the season. He shows bunt just to take a strike.
I don't think anybody's buying on the infield that he was trying to bunt for a base hit. That might just have been his way to take a pitch and take a look at Marco Estrada, and because he threw a ball, he did it again. You can see the infield still playing pretty deep.
Yeah, I don't think they expect him to bunt. The White Sox need some extra base hits. They haven't had many. They had a home run in the game last night and 3 doubles, but it has been inconsistent. There's a strike at the knees. 1-2 to the shortstop.
You know, it's an offense, I think, the White Sox that has power, but they have not been able to turn it on. They've got guys in the past who have hit home runs like LaRoche, Abreu, Melky Cabrera's had his share of home runs. They just haven't turned it on yet. Robin Ventura was a great hitter and a great player in his day. He's just waiting for his offense to catch up to the pitching.
There's another good changeup. The White Sox are scuffling. They're 5 games under 500 in the last 8 games. It's been a very disappointing stretch. They're 1-7. They haven't pitched well. They certainly haven't hit anything, and they're not scoring any runs. And it's been frustrating for Robin Ventura. At one point, they were 18-17, a game over 500. Now they are 19-24. Two and 2 to Alexei Ramirez. Popped up. Reyes goes out. Colabello calls for it. Left fielder takes charge and makes the catch.
Save during Canada's Color Expert Sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
The turntable just across the street from Rogers Center. Great destination down here with all of the activities and all the attractions. This is J.B. Shuck. He was acquired off waivers from the Cleveland Indians. Came up with the Angels. He has played coming into the game on Monday night defensively for Avisail Garcia, who's still dealing with a knee problem. Garcia started the game, had one at bat, got a hit, and then had to leave. We haven't seen him since.
And he would be the regular right fielder. Garcia, he's got a bright future ahead of him. Shuck more of a 4th outfielder, but Robin Ventura said, I got to get him off of this turf.
Ventura and his pitching coach, Don Cooper. There's a little looper that's going to drop for a base hit. Carrera plays it on a couple of hop. Shucks aboard. That's the first base runner for the White Sox. It comes with 2 outs here in the second.
Marco Estrada has been using that two-seamer. There it is right there where he turns it over just a little bit, especially to the left-handers, and that one right off the end of the bat. But a base hit. Marco's been going deeper and deeper. Finally went over the 100-pitch mark in his last start.
They're 101 over 7 innings in that start. That was against Seattle right here at Rogers Center. He was saddled with the loss. Blue Jays scored a couple of runs in the ninth. They made it a 4-3 game, but when Estrada left, it was 4-1 Seattle. It's Gordon Beckham, the third baseman. Chuck at first base bluffed a break, and he checked with Dale Boston, the first base coach, about the release time of Estrada. He is 1 for 1 in stolen bases. There he goes. Russell Martin. Throw is low, and a good tag by Goins. They're going to challenge the call. Chuck says he avoided the tag at second base. Andy Fletcher made the call. Robin Ventura is out on the warning track, and it looks like they're going to challenge this play. You see base runners doing this all the time as they try to avoid that tag.
What a play by Goins as he picks that one, and Chuck, watch him just move to the outfield. He shows him the left hand and then gives him the right hand. And it looks like he got the hand in there. Not sure when the tag was made, so there has to be that evidence, that exact evidence that he tagged him before he hit the bag, and they're going to take a look at this one.
You know what? It looked like he might have gotten his hand on the base before the tag's applied to his leg. Still not tagged there. I don't know if he tagged him at all. I think they might overturn this one. We saw Mike Trout in a similar slide stealing third base at Fenway Park, and Goins swipes at him, but I don't think he ever made contact.
Yeah, whenever you see runners right away, and I mean right away, there's the hand on the bag and it comes off and the foot stays on there. When you see runners like that right away say, hey, I missed me, we got to take a look at this one, they're usually pretty good about that.
Yeah, that's the old swim move. You give him that left hand, you take it away, and then grab the base with your right hand. Jerry Meals on the right. He's the crew chief. Andy Fletcher on the left. He's the umpire at second that made the call. Goins is still in the Blue Jays dugout. And Estrada's trying to stay loose on the mound.
Boy, half the team is in the dugout for the Blue Jays. And there's a couple still out on the field. One more look. You can see it was a tough throw. He had to pick it, and then he had to come back and try and find the hand of Chuck. And he's not sure if he was able to tag him.
Well, you have played on the infield, and it seemed like a natural move just to go to the base with your glove because he's got to touch the base. But when you have that hand and then he pulls it back, you get thinking that you've got to swipe his body somehow.
Well, you're so busy concentrating on catching the ball. It was a short hop, and you got to keep your glove down there and then bring it up, and then you just want to throw it right to the bag, and when there's nobody there. Chuck did a good job of avoiding the tag.
Russell Martin's throw was a little short of the mark. He's had an exceptional year throwing on base stealers. And you saw Goins tell Reyes, hey, I tagged him on the chest, but the replay suggests that he might not have made contact. What a heck of a slide by Chuck. He certainly had his hand on the bag. His right hand was on the back of second base.
You know, I think that's why infield coaches teach the infielders to straddle that bag when you're taking a throw like that, because then all you have to do is put your glove right down in front of you, and guys go to slide right into it.
Martin has thrown out 48% of the base stealers this season, and Chuck, he's not going to give up second base. He said, that was too much work on that slide. I'm not leaving. Boy, they're taking a long time on this review. It just tells you how close the call is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Marco Estrada has got to keep loose as much as possible. The infielders, they're not doing anything. I mean, should they treat this like it's in between the innings? Maybe throw the ball around a little bit? Throw some ground balls to the infielders and the outfielders keep their arm loose?
Well, you know what? That video war room in New York might be busy. There are 11 day games today. And there's a full slate of afternoon games. There are 4 games underway already. 3 games are about to start. Milwaukee and San Francisco will start at 1:40 Eastern. Oakland and Detroit 3:35 Eastern. And Baltimore and Houston 4:35. Only 4 night games tonight.
Andy Fletcher is in great position to make that call.
Well, when you think about it, what are you looking for as an umpire? You're looking for the base runner's hand and the fielder's glove. So when that disappears, now you got to refocus. And no telling what you see with your naked eye. But this is taking a long time.
Long time. And there has to be evidence that shows that he didn't tag him. And
I think the longer it takes, the more in Blue Jays' favor it goes.
Exactly. I'm with you right there. They got an answer.
Oh, he did call him safe, so they overturned the call on the field. Chuck is credited with his second stolen base. And John Gibbons will watch his pitcher work with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs.
And no one has thrown the ball at all for about 5 minutes on the infield or the outfield except Marco. So if there's a base hit into the outfield, I hope the outfielder's arms are loose so they can get the runner at the plate.
2-1 to Gordon Beckham. Now 2-2, just off the outside edge, but called a strike. Well, outfielders and infielders, they've stood around for innings and not get a play, so hopefully that won't be a problem. 2 outs. Change up, bounce to third. Donaldson, plenty of time. So the long delay didn't bother Estrada or Donaldson. We're through an inning and a half. Russell Martin, Chris Colabello, and Carrera when we come back. He was quite a football player.
Yeah, wide receiver from 2003 through 2006. In fact, he was a top 3 finalist for the Bolitnikoff Award. That's the best receiver in college football. There are his numbers, 27 touchdowns his senior year. And if you watched Blue Jay Central today, Hazel May did a great job interviewing Jeff Samardzija. He talked about that, knowing that he was coming to the crossroads of his career if he's going to have to choose football or baseball. Felt like baseball, he had a better chance at being a little bit more successful. He was going to be drafted a little bit higher than he would in football. I think he made the right choice.
He had a terrific season in 2005. He had 77 regular season catches and 15 touchdown receptions. Those are both still records at Notre Dame. Russell Martin with a 2-0 count. Martin is 6 for 19 against Samardzija. Of course, Samardzija was drafted and signed with the Cubs. He went to Oakland last year and was traded here. He'll be a free agent at the end of this season. Big season for Samardzija.
He's from the Chicago area. He's really excited about pitching close to his hometown. Grew up a White Sox fan, would hang around Comiskey Park when he was a youngster. So it will be tough to sign him away from that when he becomes a free agent.
But money talks. 2-2 to Martin.
You know,
bounced down the third baseline, and Beckham made a wise move. He let it go foul.
You know, if you know anything about Jeff Samardzija, I just know what I read and what I hear. Winning talks also. And I think he wants to be on a winner.
Absolutely. You know, you play at a major university and play big-time college football like Notre Dame. He played for Charlie Weiss, and Brady Quinn, the quarterback of the Browns, was his quarterback when he was in college. So you're right. You want to get in that atmosphere, and that was attractive to him last year when he went to Oakland.
They had a chance to get in the playoffs and just fell apart in the second half of the season.
They got Jason Hamill, Jeff Samardzija, and John Lester in the second half of the season in Oakland, and it still didn't translate into a deep postseason run.
Yeah, just one game against Kansas City.
You see, when Oakland has lost in the offseason, Jeff Samardzija, Donaldson, John Lester went to the Cubs. Brandon Moss is in Cleveland, and their catcher Derek Norris is with the Padres now. That was
all in the offseason, but I think the dismantling of the Oakland A's started last year when good pitch there. Yoenis Cespedes left that team. They lost a big bat.
Russell Martin got called out on strike 3, and Russell Martin has a lot of calls go against him. That looked like it might have been off the plate away, but he packs his lumber back to the bench without much of a protest. Take a look at this last pitch.
Slider, and Russell's got a very good eye at the plate. Thought that was going to be called a ball, but it's a strike according to Jordan Baker, the home plate umpire.
Chris Colabello. Colabello's had a very good homestand. This is the 10th game of this 10-game homestand. He has 10 hits in 32 at-bats, a .313 average. You talk about coming from totally opposite universe. Colabello from independent ball and Samardzija from Notre Dame playing big-time football. It's quite a contrast.
But they're all equal today, aren't they?
That's the beauty of baseball.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference where you start. You can end up here, and you think about guys from the independent league and guys that are multi-sport athletes. And Samardzija was quite an athlete in high school. Track and football and baseball, of course.
Here's the beauty of baseball. Also, they get to face each other one-on-one, man-on-man right here. Who's going to win this battle?
I still think it's the best one-on-one test in professional sports. 2-2 pitch to Colabello. Jammed him. To Hopper to Sanchez at second. 2 down.
Good pitch right there. Let's take a look at the scouting report for this afternoon starter for the Chicago White Sox, Jeff Samardzija. What is he all about? Well, he's got a little bit of everything. A fastball, he can run it up there at 95, 96 miles an hour. Use that 43% of the time. He'll cut the ball also. That fastball, he'll cut it. Slider, his splitter is an outstanding pitch. The splitter, he throws that 7% of the time, he throws it hard, and a changeup. The slider has been a problem for him this year. He just hasn't been able to get a lot of strikeouts with the slider.
Carrera bunts it up the first base line, and Samardzija picked it up. Sounded like Soto was telling him to let it go. I don't know that they had a chance on making a play to first. The catcher had a good perspective. That ball, he wasn't going to throw him out. He might have been better off to let it roll, see if it had gone foul.
Well, once he touched it, he did the right thing, and he didn't try and throw it. That ball is just dying right there up the first base line. You see pitchers get into trouble when they try to make something happen where there's nothing there, and it's just an excellent effort by Carrera. Deadens the ball, and that ball's got a lot of English on it now, and it's really jumping all over the place.
2 outs now for Kevin Pillar, the center fielder, down and away. Average at .217. Pillar continues to play every day in center field, and has been a benefit for him to try to work his problems out with the bat.
You know, here's another thing that pitchers can do to help themselves is control the running game. It's a running situation, 2 outs, depending on what happens here with Pillar. But Carrera can steal a base, but Samardzija's done a good job this year of controlling the running game. He's only allowed 1 stolen base this year.
Three and 0 to Pillar. Ryan Goins is on deck. Ball 4. A 4-pitch walk. That'll bring the number 9 batter up. Jeff Samardzija has had problems pitching on the road. Good numbers in a tough pitcher's ballpark at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago, but it's a different story when he gets away from home.
ERA jumps to .573 when they're on the road. The opponent batting average just a notch under 300 for Samardzija. And the home runs, he's only allowed 1 at U.S. Cellular this season, and you're right, that is a home run hitting ballpark.
So Ryan Goins getting a start at second base this afternoon, just his 4th start at second. Goins has done a terrific job filling in at short for Reyes while he was out. Goins .273 on his homestand. 6 for 22. He's hit his first home run of the season. Out in front, that off-speed pitch.
You know, his at-bats have been better. A little bit more solid contact from Ryan on this homestand. You get a little bit better sound off the bat from him, and that's what he's looking for.
No score. We're in the bottom of the second. Blue Jays trying to sweep the Chicago White Sox. The Blue Jays swept the Orioles back in April here at Rogers Center in a 3-game series. The Jays trying to win 4 in a row. They've not won 4 in a row since last September. Got to string those wins together to close the gap on 500.
Yeah, you got to get a little bit of everything. Pitching, defense, some timely hitting.
Just off the plate. 2-2.
We got to give him a little bit more credit for his fastball. He's got a good one today. I've seen some 95s and I have seen some 96s already.
Yeah, when he made that start last July out in Oakland, he was throwing 95, 96. Goins protects the plate with 2 strikes.
There's a 97. Ooh. Feeling loose this afternoon.
Well, he knows what's at stake. They've lost the first 2 games, and they're struggling to put things together on the road. They are 7-14 on the road this year.
Start of a long road trip for this team. 11 games in 10 days. No off days.
Broken bat. Abreu will go to the bag, and that will end the second inning. Blue Jays will strand a pair. We'll go to the third. Still no runs here in this ball game.
Blackhawks Game 6. That's tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. Buck?
Should be another great match tonight. This has been a terrific semifinals for the Stanley Cup playoffs. We move to the third. No score in this ball game. Chicago has 1 hit. Blue Jays have 2. Marco Estrada trying to complete the sweep of the White Sox. The White Sox have not been swept here at Rogers Center since 2009. This is the catcher, Giovanni Soto. Down and away for a ball.
Soto burst on the scene, didn't he, as a rookie with the Cubs in 2008. 23 home runs. Just 2 off the rookie record for the Cubs. Billy Williams set that back in 1961 with 25 home runs. Soto had 23 that year.
Yeah, he had a great season, but hasn't been able to recapture that form since. Broken bat. Donaldson takes his time. Soto's retired. Well, we mentioned it with Drew Hutchison the other night, how important those first outs of innings are, and Marco Estrada's retired all 3 he's faced so far in this game. It just really shortens the inning. You don't pitch out of the stretch as quickly. You get that first out, and it's basically down to a 2-out inning.
Yeah. On the other side of that, as an offensive team, you get that first guy out of there. You say, okay, we need to score runs, and we only have 2 outs to deal with it.
Carlos Sanchez, the second baseman, had a sacrifice fly, got hit by a pitch, doubled and scored, and struck out last night. He had a busy night.
He was busy defensively too, wasn't he? A lot of cutoffs and relays, having to deal with that last night.
Yeah, I'm sure Robin Ventura wasn't really pleased with the defense of the White Sox last night. They had a lot of indecisive plays.
He had a chance, I thought, to get Josh Donaldson at the plate on a ball down the right field line by, I believe it was Jose Bautista. Caught the ball and was unsure where he was going to throw it, and that allowed Josh to circle the bases, score a big run.
That was in the 5th inning as Donaldson scored the 6th run of the game. But he got the relay out in right field and really didn't know where to throw it. And nobody helped him.
That's right. There was nobody back there. No double cutoff for the White Sox, being the eyes and the ears of that relay throw.
There's a line drive into left. Colabella will play it on a hop. Sanchez is aboard with a 1-out base hit. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Moustakas, his home run is his 5th, but he is hitting .335, and they have put him in the 2 spot in the lineup because he's been making such consistent contact. Chris Young is on the mound for the Royals, and what a pickup Chris Young has been.
It's like last year when the Mariners had Chris Young. They thought he was the most valuable pickup, if you will, in spring training. He's doing it again today in this season for Kansas City.
Chris Young is 4-0 with a 0.78 earned run average, and anybody could have had him. 1 out. Leadoff man Adam Eaton.
Eaton can do that. He's got 2 bunt hits already this year. He's also a guy with a little pop, and if he gets it into the gaps, he's very fast. 10 triples last year, 3 already this year.
He's got 12 extra base hits. 2-0 to Eaton. Line drive into center field. Pilar plays it on a couple of hops. Sanchez stops at second. Back-to-back 1-out singles for Chicago.
Struck out his first time up. Adam Eaton did. Said, I'm not going to get the 2 strikes. And he got this pitch that was up for Marco. And got on top of that ball. Hit that ball hard to center field.
So it's first and second. Melky Cabrera. Melky had a couple of hits last night. He was 2 for 5, picked up an RBI and scored a run. Luis Rivera sets up the defense for the Blue Jays, and he gets a lot of information as to hitters' tendencies, what they do. And he'll keep a close eye on the infielders. He will also check with the pitchers to say, this is how we're going to play this guy. Are you in agreement with that? Of course, the pitcher has to be comfortable with the defense as they set it up. You know, Pat, most pitchers will recall how hitters hit them.
Shut your mouth.
Wow. That's pretty strong.
You can say whatever you want, Robin.
And now he was picking out who can holler at him, I guess. You heard Jordan Baker say, you can say whatever you want, Robin. Don Cooper looks like he had something to say about that last pitch.
And I guess everybody else has to be quiet.
Yeah, manager has priority. I don't know.
Yeah.
How can you tell who's talking to you?
I don't know. I don't know.
What we used to say in the dugout was, if you could see as good as you could hear, we wouldn't have any problems. Nice block by Russell Martin. You know, the umpiring has changed a lot, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there are no league umpires.
Yeah.
When you had league umpires, they would travel around in their respective leagues. They would get to know the players, they'd get to know the coaches, you'd get to know the managers. I mean, there was a familiarity. Everybody knew each other, and you knew who had the short fuse and who didn't.
Right, and the players knew who you could say stuff to.
There's a fly ball to left. Colomelo over toward the foul line. He's drifting. It's a fair ball, and he makes the catch.
You would know what umpires you can say certain things to and what umpires you had to leave alone because they'd have the short fuse and they'd throw you out of the ball game. You also knew their strike zone a little bit more.
And two, the umpires knew the pitchers, so they knew what they threw. I mean, there have been instances, and I talk to umpires all the time, there have been instances where umpires won't ump a particular team in their city. Like just because of scheduling, you might not see the White Sox in Chicago all season long. So I think that has had an impact, but I don't, it's not going to go back and change to league umpires. But you'll remember this. You played in the National League for a while. That National League umpires had a reputation of calling strikes. American League umpires had a reputation of calling balls. And that was just league-wide.
Low ball, high ball.
Exactly.
League.
There was a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're under one umbrella, and they don't see teams as frequently as they have in the past. 2 outs. Jose Abreu. Swings and misses. It's a ball and a strike for the big first baseman.
Estrada has a good changeup working today, but I think he's going to have to start using his curveball a little bit too much now. He is getting predictable with his fastball changeup combination. I think he's going to have to start mixing in the the curveball a little bit more.
He actually threw some good cutters in his last start against Seattle. Changeup way outside. And now this would be a perfect time to throw something other than a fastball or a changeup. You got a home run hitter at the plate in Abreu. Russell Martin's picking up on this, you can bet. Two and one, 2 outs. Change up, popped into shallow right. Carrera battling the sun and missed it. 2 runs are going to come in to score. And Carrera got to it, and then right at the last minute, it looked like he lost it in the sun and whiffed on it, and Abreu ends up at second, and the White Sox have a 2-0 lead.
You know, the sun has been going in and out all afternoon, and right now the sun is very bright, and that's what Carrera is looking up into. It's right up at the top of the apex of that fly ball. It looked like that's when he started struggling with it. He sees it, he's got the sunglasses down, and then watch. Right when it gets to the top, he tries to shade his eyes, he loses the ball, and now it's hope. You're hoping that that ball goes into your glove, and it drops for a hit and a couple of runs.
So now Russell Martin out to have a chat with Estrada. Not much you can do about that. And that's always a risk you have playing in a day game. But Abreu ends up at second. The White Sox scored 2, and Abreu now has 29 RBIs.
Boy, as a pitcher, you got to regroup yourself right here. You made a pitch to their most productive player, and you should be out of the inning. Don't compound it now. Get the focus back on LaRoche because he can hit.
It'd be hard charging on this first pitch. And Estrada hit him. So LaRoche will go to first. Estrada trying to crowd LaRoche, hits him with the pitch, and that'll bring up Alexei Ramirez.
Looked like it might have been the cutter. You mentioned that he had a pretty good cutter in his last game. That one they tried to crowd him. Hits him right in the elbow.
Ramirez popped out to the left fielder his first time up. 2-0 Chicago. Ramirez, a very aggressive hitter. He goes up there hacking. He doesn't wait around.
Especially with guys in scoring position. Alexei Ramirez got a runner out there at second base. He was looking for a first pitch fastball.
There's the curveball. And you can see the effect it had on Ramirez. He was fooled.
I wish they could have saved that for strike 3 because he just hasn't thrown that many of them this afternoon, and the right-handed batters haven't seen too many of them. That would have been a good time to use that with 2 strikes. Now he's got to finish him off. Marco Estrada has got a lot of deception in his delivery. This is what he will throw. Fastball 47% of the time. It's the changeup, I think, that is excellent. He's got a pretty good curveball. It's a late breaker. He'll cut the ball at times, just 5% of the time, but he throws at 88 miles an hour. But he's got to be able to mix in all 3 of those: fastball, the changeup, and the curve.
That changeup bounced in the dirt. It's 1-2. You got to think back to that curveball they threw for strike 2, and if Estrada does throw it, he can't think about making it better than the 2-strike pitch. Just throw it the same way. 1 and 2, 2 outs. Abreu at second. LaRoche at first. Way out in front of home plate.
Bounced the last couple of changeups, so it's almost like he has lost the feel for it here.
Trying to regroup now after the double that was lost in the sun. Led to 2 runs. He'd like to pick up his outfielder and keep it at 2. There's the curveball, but it's in the dirt. Snap throw to second, and they got him. Oh, what a heads-up play. Goins may have been spiked by Abreu, but Russell Martin threw a strike and ends the inning. Goins breaks into the bag.
That's how you pick up your pitcher right there. Catch a guy napping, and Goins slides in there, and the Blue Jays get out of it.
Goins.
Well, let's take a look. That ball came back there quickly. It looked like Ryan might have gotten spiked also from Abreu. You see him getting back, and heads-up play by both Martin and Goins. And we will watch that again at second base. This is the second time today at second base that there has been a call and a replay.
Andy Fletcher is the second base umpire, and Russell Martin just kept his eye on Goins, as did Goins on Martin. And when he saw Abreu kind of jogging back to the bag, he just made a strong throw to second, and Goins reacted to the throw. It wasn't a pickoff play necessarily.
Runners will get their secondary lead, and then when the pitch is in the dirt or whatever, they'll start back towards the bag and then take their eye off the defender. And Martin alertly came up firing, but we'll wait around to see this one.
Yeah, this is really interesting because the Blue Jays, by rule, are supposed to stay on the field. They challenge a final out to an inning, and they're all in the dugout. Estrada's in the dugout. Everybody's sitting in the dugout. Abreu, the base runner that was called out at second, he's the only player on the field. So Jerry Meo's the crew chief, and Andy Fletcher are on the headsets to New York waiting for a ruling. I don't know where Goins got spiked. It looked like it was a left leg.
An awkward looking slide, wasn't it, from Abreu?
Well, they're going to uphold the call. They have just indicated Abreu indeed will be out. So the challenge is denied. Goins is okay, and the Blue Jays will try to come back from a 2-0 deficit.
Quebec and Rimouski, 7:03 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Sportsnet. And visiting us tonight will be the folks that will give you all the highlights of that game. Ken and Ivanka making an appearance. Guys, it's been quite a week of Sportsnet personalities here at the Rogers Center.
Absolutely. Ken and Ivanka out enjoying a great afternoon here, and they'll be calling their show later on tonight to set up the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Memorial Cup highlights.
They get the best seats in the house, don't they?
Yeah, they got connections. They know Barry Davis. This is Jose Reyes. He doubled in his first at bat, was stranded at second. The Blue Jays couldn't advance him. Jays are down 2-0. This is a game that's long from over, that's for sure. We saw last night, it was back and forth all night last night. The Blue Jays won it 10-9.
Early part of this game, you get the same type of feel. There's no rhythm to the game yet. It's just real choppy.
Reyes with his second hit of the afternoon makes a turnaround first. Melky Cabrera gets it back in quickly, and Reyes will hold. So Josh Donaldson popped out to the left fielder, but last night was a special night for Donaldson.
First pitch he saw, he does this to left field, making him the first Blue Jay to touch home plate. And then at the end, the last Blue Jay to touch home plate. This walk-off 3-run home run, capping a 4-for-4, 2-homer, 4 RBI, 5-run scored night, as the Blue Jays came back and had an unlikely win against David Robertson and the White Sox.
It was his 5th multi-home run game of his career. It was a special night for a Blue Jays hitter. It's only the second time a Blue Jays hitter has gone 4-for-4 or better with at least 4 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and 2 home runs.
The other one?
The only other one.
It's got to be the Carlos Delgado 4-home run game.
That's it. Delgado in September of 2003 had the 4-homer game. So Donaldson has joined Delgado in a very special category. We mentioned that Donaldson also scored 5 runs in that game. He's the only big leaguer to score 5 runs in a game this season. Way inside.
I know baseball says when you get the leadoff runner on and you got these types of hitters coming up, you don't want to run into any outs. But if I'm the Blue Jays, I've got to put the pressure on Giovanni Soto to try and steal bases. You've got some speed there with Reyes.
This is popped up middle of the infield. Ramirez, the shortstop, calls for it, and he makes the catch.
You know, they had it a couple of innings ago when Carrera was on first base, and he could steal a base with 2 outs, and they didn't even make an attempt to try and steal the base.
Soto's only thrown out 1 of 9 base stealers. But Reyes showing no signs of wanting to run. He's 3 for 3 in steals, and it's hard to run with these guys at the plate.
Yes.
John Gibbons knows one swing of the bat, they can erase any deficit. Bautista takes strike 1. Jose with 7 home runs and 30 RBIs. Oh, and 2. Bautista was out throwing today once again, and he threw about 100 feet. He was playing catch with the trainer George Poulos, trying to stretch out his arm a bit, but it was a good sign to see him throwing on the field.
He was throwing the other day, and it still looked like he was having trouble lifting that shoulder up and getting the ball up and releasing it, extending through his throws.
Bautista has suggested that he might be able to play in the outfield when they go to Washington on June 1st.
Well, it's either that or
pinch hit.
Yeah, sitting next to John Gibbons. No DH.
Bautista hits it just foul outside the foul line down the right side.
This is what you were talking about, Buck, just releasing the ball. You can see he's still holding back just a little bit. Can't extend, can't get that shoulder up. You've seen that in the past, haven't you, from guys who've had shoulder problems? They just, I don't know how to describe it, they just don't look free and easy letting go of the baseball.
Yeah, you don't extend just yet, and I think that's the one thing that's the next step for Jose, is to get that extension and really stretch out that shoulder. But that's a few days away.
Says he feels an impingement when he lifts his shoulder too high.
Catcher Giovanni Soto asked for timeout. He wanted to go through the signs once again. Samardzija ahead of Bautista 0-2. Shoots one down the right side. That fan made a nice catch, caught the ball in his hat. And he's got a souvenir. I think he surprised himself.
He caught that in his hat?
Yeah.
Nice.
Encarnacion will be next if Bautista can keep the inning going. Pitch shot. Well, that's kind of surprising. Reyes hasn't shown any inkling that he wants to run, and they pitch out. Especially on an 0-2 pitch.
0-2, and he sped up his delivery just a little bit, giving a hint to Reyes that they were pitching out.
There he goes. Bautista hits it in the air to right. And wouldn't you know it, the clouds cover up the sun.
Soon as that ball went up in the air, covered up the sun, and that's the exact same type of play that the White Sox scored their runs on. And J.P. Shuck says thank you very much, and as soon as he throws it back in, here comes the sun again.
So Bautista's retired. That's the second out of the inning, and now Shuck looking up into the sun saying, okay, well, that's a little tougher now. Outfielders wearing glasses all the time on days like this. Edwin Encarnacion grounded out to short his first time up. Off the plate outside. Edwin is 0 for his last 9. Ball on the strike. Reyes at first.
A little bit bigger lead that time from Jose.
He was getting antsy that time.
Yeah. Forget about him over there with 2 outs, and he's liable to take second base on you. He went right after the pitch out, which I thought was a smart move. And he got 1 foot on the carpet when he did.
1-2 to Encarnacion. So now it'd be worth a gamble for Reyes. Go ahead and take a shot. You've got 2 outs and 2 strikes on the batter. Get yourself in scoring position. If it's thrown out, Edwin starts the next inning. I think it's a high percentage gamble.
A little bit bigger lead.
There he goes. Ball is shot down the right side, but that's going to slice foul. Reyes went in sliding into second. I don't know if Sanchez decoyed him into a slide or not, but if it did, it's a pretty heady move for a rookie.
Yeah, but the ball was swung on. You could hear the crack of the bat. You know, you just pick up your third base coach when you hear it.
You get the runner to slide, and if it is a fair ball, he might not be able to score. Chicago has a 2-0 lead. There goes Reyes again, and another chopper out in front of home. Soto gets on it quickly and throws Encarnacion out. That ends the inning. So we'll go to the 4th inning. Chicago and Jeff Samardzija have a 2-0 lead over the Jays.
luxury begins with the new 8-speed dual clutch 2016 Acura ILX. Catch it if you can.
Beautiful Wednesday afternoon here at Rogers Center. The roof is open, and it's a comfortable afternoon. Blue Jays are down by 2. The only run scored on a pop fly that was lost in the sun by the right fielder, Ezequiel Carrera. 2-0 Chicago. Ramirez was at the plate when Russell Martin picked off Jose Abreu from second base. The White Sox had scored 2 and had a chance to add to that total, but Abreu got picked off at second.
2 runners on, 2 runners out, and he picked up his pitcher. Russell's been doing that all season long, hasn't he? He has been very impressive behind the plate.
And breaking ball just hasn't been as consistent for Estrada as it was his last couple of starts. That curveball hangs up there.
And he knows how important that curveball is to him. He's going to have to be able to keep throwing it until he finds that release point. There you go.
Came right back with it. I love that call. It's fresh in his mind that he hung it, and Russell came right back with it, and Marco was able to make the adjustment and threw a good one to get Ramirez to fly out to center.
Yeah, you can't just run away from it because you throw a couple of bad ones. I think Russell Martin knows that. He has done that in the past when he has caught other pitchers. When they don't throw a good pitch, he goes right back to it because he knows he needs it. He needs his curveball here. It complements his fastball and his changeup very well.
This is J.B. Shuck, the right fielder. He singled to right his previous at bat. That came in the second. Marco retired the side in order in the first. There's the curveball starting to come around a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're recognizing that that thing is starting to come around and they need to use it. Now get that changeup back.
There's the changeup. Connoisseur ranges far to his right and then throws it behind Estrada. Marco got a glove on it but couldn't hold on. So Shuck's aboard with 1 out.
First baseman Encarnacion has done a good job this year. This time he just cannot lead his starter with that throw, so it will be an error, his first of the season. You see that throw behind Estrada. Ideally, you want to get that ball about 2 steps before the bag to the pitcher so he can catch it, take another stride or 2, and then find the bag.
Yeah, it's just like a football pass. You want to lead the pitcher so he can run to the baseball and step on the bag all in one motion. So an error on the first baseman, and Gordon Beckham fouls off the next pitch. There's a fly ball to right. Carrera, no sun to deal with here, makes a catch. 2 down. Well, the AL East is really a toss-up right now. The New York Yankees have leapfrogged back into first place over Tampa Bay by half a game, and top to bottom only 3 games separate the Yankees from the Red Sox and the Blue Jays.
And if you're the Blue Jays, you say, you know what, how could we win today's game? That's all you're worried about. Just put your head down and just try and win ball games. Win that day. They're heading out on the road tomorrow on a very tough road trip. So you just have to try and figure out how to win today's game.
And going to Minnesota, the Twins are 16-6 at home. And then the Blue Jays will go to Washington, and the Nationals are 14-7.
And, excuse me, Buck, right now they're scheduled to face Strasburg and Scherzer.
Giovanni Soto hits into the force out. The inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Blue Jays are down by 2. Russell Martin will start things off against Samardzija when we come back.
Astros at 107. Junior J's outdoor program is back as the weather is beautiful. Let's face it. Join us pregame outside Gate 10 for inflatable activities and lots of fun. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Go to BlueJays.com for tickets. Buck?
Mary, that'll be a great matchup. Houston's in town. Only Houston and the Cardinals have 30 wins this season. Two of the best teams in baseball, and the Astros are the surprise of the American League. They have a 6.5 game lead over the Angels and the Rangers. Well, they have played good.
They have played really well. Blue Jays are going to need some payback, I think, in that series.
And were swept at the hands of the Astros in a 4-game series down in Houston. Jerry Mio said Russell Martin went around. 0-2. That slider down and away. Jeff Samardzija has scattered 3 hits. Reyes has a double and a single, and Carrera has a bunt single. That's it. There's another hit. Russell Martin leads things off with a single here in the 4th. Jeff Samardzija in his first season with the White Sox. This season he got off to a rough start in April, but things are starting to sort themselves out in May.
Starting to get it a little bit stronger, starting to find all of his pitches. The earned run average, he has shaved over a run off of that from the month of April. And the opponent's batting average down. He's an elite pitcher. He's got good stuff. Ball moves all over the place, and he throws strikes, and before it's all said and done, he's going to be right there. He's just too talented of a baseball player.
Samardzija, and I'll agree with you, he's in a top division of pitchers, but his career record is 40-50. His ERA is 3.88. I think early on he was with the Cubs and really suffered with that bad team.
Yeah. Pitched some great ball games and would get no decisions, or he would lose games 2-1, 3-2. So the 1-loss record, you can't really control that. If your team doesn't score you any runs.
Well, yeah, you can. You can throw shutouts every time.
Yeah, but that's tough to do.
But you know what? Since 2013, Samardzija is 5th in strikeouts, and he is right there with Scherzer, King Felix, Corey Kluber, Steven Strasburg, and Samardzija is 5th coming into this game with 465 strikeouts. He has also led in a category that you don't want to lead in, and that's no decisions. He and his teammate Jose Quintana. Quintana's first with 31. Smarja has 28, tied with James Shields for the most in baseball since 2013.
There you go, right there. You pitch great ball game, but your team can't get you any runs, or your bullpen coughs up a lead.
Tapper to second. Sanchez makes a barehanded play. Boy, that was a risky move. If you're going to go to get the guy at first base, field it with your glove.
You know what? I think that he thought about trying to get the lead runner. I really do. Just watching him after that play, that's the only reason why he would barehand it. And then as soon as he threw it, he looked to second base like, did I have a shot there? But the runner, Martin, hustles and gets into scoring position on that check swing.
That may be the case, but boy, he took a gamble going with a bare hand.
Oh, yeah. Big time took a gamble.
Ezequiel Carrera with a big swing and a miss. Carrera had that bunt single in the second, took it up the first baseline.
They're changing the signs.
Yeah, they are. They're calling on all the infielders here with Russell Martin at second, and Soto called everybody in. Interesting. He never hesitated after that first swing.
Well, he must have seen something that Russell Martin did while he was out at second base that indicated to Soto that he might be giving either location or the pitch. And as soon as that first pitch was swung through by Carrera, he went out there to talk to his infielder and his pitcher.
Inside, it's 1-1. Carrera, 10 RBIs and 50 at bats. He's done a good job of picking up these runners in scoring position.
Coming up with clutch hits and sacrifice flies. I think he's had 2 or 3 sacrifice flies.
Out in front of that pitch. One and two. Samardzija working with 1 out here in the fourth. Pop straight back over the screen and out of play. Last night's game featured 6 lead changes. It was back and forth all night long, and the Blue Jays had 3 consecutive hits in the 9th, and it was the first loss for the White Sox this season when leading after 8. They were 16-0 in those games, and David Robertson picked up his second blown save of the season.
Blue Jays knew that they were in tough against Robertson. They knew it, but they came out swinging, didn't they? In that 9th inning, Josh Donaldson finishing it off with that home run.
Herrera strikes out. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Jamie, Alex Rodriguez has 11 home runs and 26 RBIs, and Michael Pineda has the lead. Pineda's allowed just 2 hits to Kansas City, a home run to Moustakas. Kevin Pillar goes after the first pitch and grounds out to the shortstop. So we'll head to the 5th. Jeff Samardzija has a 2-0 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.
This bobblehead comes with the bubble gum and all. Sunday, June 7th, Blue Jays and Astros 107 start, and the first 20,000 fans in will receive one of these pretty amazing bobbleheads. The likeness is quite incredible. Go to BlueJays.com for more details. And Buck, as you mentioned, and I'll mention for those that did not hear it last night, Marcus does plan to be in town on his bobblehead day.
Yeah, he sure will be, Barry, and I'm sure Marcus will be accommodating to the fans. I want to get that bobblehead autographed, and Marcus, a very engaging young man. He's in class now at Duke University down in North Carolina, and he said he was going to be here for sure on that bobblehead day. So that will take place on June 7th, so make sure you come on out. We move to the 5th. It's a 2-0 game.
Did he say he's in sociology? Is that what he said he was in? Wow.
Yeah, he's got 2 semesters to go, 2 summer sessions, and he will graduate in August. Get his degree. Marco Estrada jumps ahead of Carlos Sanchez, the second baseman. Sanchez scored a run in the 3rd. One of 2 runs that scored on that pop double that Ezequiel Carrera lost in the sun in right. The Blue Jays starting pitching has been good of late. Ari Dickey had a bit of a rough start last night, but that was the exception. This is a pop-up down the third baseline. Reyes takes charge, and the shortstop makes the catch in foul territory. 1 down.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Look at Reyes hitting that left side, and that was the side that gave him problems in the past, and he had a long run down there to foul territory.
And then reach up with that glove hand, and that's the problems that he has had on that left side where he reaches and stretches.
Back to the top of the order. This is Adam Eaton. He's gone 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. Both teams with 4 hits. There's a fly ball to left. Ball's carrying a long way, and Colabello stays with it. 2 down. Let's check in again with Jamie Campbell. We told you Minnesota playing very well at home. The Twins have won 4 in a row going into play today. Phil Hughes on the mound for the Twins. Rick Porcello, the starter for Boston.
16-6 at home, 16 out of the first 22. They have won.
They're playing good baseball. They got some young players we'll see for the first time, as Eddie Rosario, their left fielder, good looking hitter. Melky Cabrera fouls it out of play. It's 1-2 to the White Sox left fielder.
They must be wondering in Chicago, where's all the extra bases off the bat of Melky Cabrera this year? The power just not there so far. Just 1 home run and 2 doubles from Melky.
Well, Melky's first season with the Blue Jays was a lot like this, and he was dealing with a tumor nobody knew about. He couldn't run, and he was having a lot of problems, but he got it fixed, came back and hit 300 last year, and parlayed that great season into a nice contract with the White Sox.
Gamer, too. He played every day last year, and he could hit good pitching.
He rips that one into center. They wanted to go upstairs, and Cabrera was all over it. His first hit of the afternoon.
High high fastball. It's just not high enough. Melky does a good job of keeping his hands above the baseball right there to make sure that he doesn't get underneath that one and pop it up. Creates a line drive to center field.
Jose Abreu has driven in the only 2 runs of this game this afternoon. A pop-up double that fell in right field. Abreu's in his 2nd season with the White Sox. He signed a free agent contract after coming out of Cuba. He has been a very good hitter on the international scene for a long time, and he had no problems adjusting to big league pitching last year. He gets jammed, and this is popped up. Encarnacion has room and makes the catch that ends the inning. Edwin stays with it, battled the sun to make the catch. The Blue Jays are down by 2. Ryan Goins will start things off, then back to the top of the order. Reyes is already 2 for 2. Then Donaldson coming off a big night last night.
Or more, you can save money. Create lasting memories with your coworkers, teammates, family, and friends with Blue Jays group tickets. You can book your group today at 341-341-1188 or bluejays.com/groups. Buck?
Barry, that's a great idea and a great way to spend a good afternoon or evening with a bunch of friends. So call the Blue Jays and order some group tickets and come on out. A lot of great teams coming in the rest of the way. The Mets will be here along with Miami. Make sure you come on out to see Giancarlo Stanton in Miami. They are here for a 3-game series, June 8th, 9th, and 10th. The Mets are here the 17th and 18th. Get to see that great pitching staff and maybe even catch Matt Harvey.
Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard. And if you come on the weekend, you can go out to that flight deck out in center field and hang out. That looks like a lot of fun out there.
The WestJet flight deck has been a very popular destination for everybody coming here, and when you buy a ticket you can make your way out to there at center field spot. This is a fly ball to left. Melky Cabrera comes in. Goins is retired. 4 straight set down by Jeff Smarja.
He's given up a hit in every inning, but he has stranded at least 1 runner in every inning. He's been throwing a lot of pitches here through the first 5 innings. Blue Jays have really made him work.
They haven't been able to break through against Jeff Samardzija. Yankees are leading Kansas City. There's no score down in Tampa Bay, and that's a great pitching matchup. Felix Hernandez and Chris Archer. Jamie Campbell told you about the Twins and the Red Sox. It's 3-2, bottom of the 4th in Minneapolis. Reyes 2 for 2 so far, but he's behind 0-2 now. There's a pop on the left side. Gordon Beckham into foul territory. Third baseman makes the catch. 2 quick outs here in the 5th. So Josh Donaldson will step in, and he has had a terrific start to his season. You look at third base OPS in the American League, he's the leader of the pack.
There's some good ones too. Mike Moustakas is having a great year. Kyle Seager hit a couple of home runs last night, and the great Evan Longoria down in Tampa. But it's Josh Donaldson who leads the way, and for me, he's got my all-star vote, hands down, for the American League third baseman. We've had the pleasure of watching him day in and day out, and it's not just the great numbers that we see from Donaldson. It's all the little things in the game. You know, the base running, taking the extra base, defensively making the plays, being in the right spot at the right time. He's just a great baseball player.
A couple of sliders. He got David Robertson last night. Robertson charged with his second blown save as Donaldson did a 3-run home run to right. Jeff Smarja and Donaldson were teammates second half of the season last year in Oakland. And they had expectations to go deep into the postseason, and that came to an abrupt end in Kansas City.
One game, a wild card game.
Left that breaking ball inside. Donaldson fouls it off.
You see how upset he was too. That's the competitor that Samardzija is. He knew he got away with a mistake that time. Watch this reaction after he hangs this breaking ball.
Well, he knows what he's dealing with in Josh Donaldson. 13 doubles and 12 home runs. You don't get away with too many mistakes to Donaldson. Took a shot at that outside corner and missed with the 96-mile-an-hour heater. Pull on the ground. Beckham takes his time, fires to Abreu. The inning is over. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. We move to the 6th. The White Sox have a 2-0 lead, and here comes the Home Hardware cleanup crew, brought to you by Natura. Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products.
Football is on the line at Wembley. Arsenal taking on Aston Villa in the FA Cup final. It goes Saturday, noon Eastern. That is 9 Pacific on Sportsnet 1. Buck?
Well, that is great FA Cup soccer action, Barry, and that'll all be coming up right here on Sportsnet 1. That's the Rogers Center from down near the lake shore, and a lot of fans coming out enjoying this great weather. Blue Jays trying to keep it a 2-0 game. The White Sox have scored 2 runs here, and they came in the 3rd inning, and that's been it.
Gift wrapped on a ball in the sun.
Adam LaRoche takes a first pitch strike. LaRoche so far is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Pass Goins into right. LaRoche has a leadoff single. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Noah Syndergaard is 2 for 2 with that home run, batting .375 in limited at bats, and he's also shutting out the Phillies on 3 hits through 4 innings. He hasn't walked a batter and struck out 4, and he's got a 5-0 lead. Alexei Ramirez with LaRoche at first. Ramirez is 0 for 2 coming into this game, hitting .333 over his previous 7 ball games. This is popped up over near the Blue Jays dugout. Donaldson will watch it hit off the Blue Jays dugout roof. Robin Ventura's team on their longest road trip of the season, an 11-game road trip that'll include a doubleheader tomorrow in Baltimore before they head down to Houston and then finish up playing the Rangers in Arlington.
Yeah, makeup game. They get Chris Sale in game 1, and they're calling up a rookie to face at pitch in game 2, Chris Beck.
24-year-old Chris Beck, who has made 8 starts in AAA. Beck was a 2nd-round pick of the White Sox in 2012 out of Georgia Southern. He'll start game 2. The Orioles as yet haven't announced their starter for that game.
And then on down to Houston, where Carlos Rodon will pitch on Friday night in game 1 of that series.
It's a bouncing ball up the first baseline, and Estrada will tag Ramirez. LaRoche goes to 2nd on the play.
Well, that's something that we have seen a lot in this ballpark. That ball just bouncing up the baselines, and it just dies. It doesn't roll foul. It just stays right there. So you've got to play everything out, run everything out, and play everything out. You see Marco Estrada right on top of that one. He knows that ball's not going foul.
Yeah, that is such a soft surface that the chopped balls or the bunts, they have a tendency to just stop in fair territory. J.B. Shuck, the right fielder, has been aboard twice. He loops this one into center. This is trouble. It's going to drop. Pilar plays it off a hop and then boots it. LaRoche comes in to score, and they call out Shuck at 2nd. As they stayed with the play, Goins put the tag on him, but LaRoche comes in with the 3rd White Sox run. It's 3-0.
A good read by LaRoche at 2nd base off the bat of J.B. Shuck. Blooper out into no man's land. Watch LaRoche, if you can see him on this. He reads it right away, so he's going to score. Now, Pilar doesn't give up as this ball bounces off of the heel of his glove. He'll pick up the outfield assist as he fires that ball to 2nd base. And Shuck was the runner who had one overturned earlier at 2nd, and that time he's out.
So Pilar picks up his 5th outfield assist. But in the meantime, the White Sox have added a run. 3-0 now, Chicago.
You know, it was a close play and a good gamble, I thought, by Shuck as he goes straight into the bag, and you can see how close it's going to be just before he gets to the bag.
That's a great shot. He saw the tag of Goins before Shuck got to 2nd.
You could see Ryan also straddling the bag. So all he had to do was just put that glove straight in front of the bag and record the out.
That strikes out. The inning is over, but the White Sox score a run on a pair of hits. They go to the bottom of the 6th. The Blue Jays are down by 3. Bautista, Encarnacion, and Martin. Transmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Well, the Blue Jays are trying to sweep the White Sox in this 3-game series, but they've got some work to do. They're down 3-0 to Jeff Samardzija and managed just 4 hits off the big right-hander. Got the middle of their order up now here in the 6th. Bautista, Encarnacion, and Russell Martin. There's a start. Bautista lines it into left. A leadoff single.
It's the 4th time that they've had the leadoff man on against Samardzija. Just have not been able to bring him around. Tried to sink that ball down and in, and Bautista was all over that one. Rifles that ball into left field for a hit.
The Blue Jays last night scored 10 runs in their win. It was the 9th time they've scored 10 or more runs this season. The problem has been after those 10-run games, in the subsequent 9 games, they've scored a total of 19 runs. And that pattern has continued here this afternoon so far.
All or nothing so far for the Jays.
Ball on a strike to Encarnacion. But John Gibbons knows it can change in a hurry with this lineup. They haven't been able to capitalize on those leadoff base runners. As Pat mentioned, 4 times they've had the leadoff man aboard.
Putting Jeff Samardzija right into hot water, but they just haven't been able to bring him around. Leadoff double to Reyes to start the game, 3 straight outs. Leadoff single by Reyes in the 3rd, 3 straight outs. Martin led off the 4th, 3 straight outs.
One and 2. Flare down the right side. That's going to drop in foul territory. Jeff Samardzija and Giovanni Soto were teammates with the Cubs. That has a lot to do with why he's catching him. They know each other very well. See Samardzija getting that split finger grip set in his glove, trying to get a comfortable grip.
Soto's 8th time this year that he has caught Samardzija. They have worked well.
Carson caught looking at strike 3. Looked like they wanted that fastball inside. He missed down and away for a strikeout.
Save during Canada's Color Expert Sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Russell Martin takes one up and away. Smarja hasn't lost a thing off his fastball. Way outside, it's 2-0. Soto doesn't waste any time going out to the mound. We mentioned how well these two know each other, and he wanted to address those two balls quickly.
Looked like he overthrew those two baseballs. Trying to get a little something extra on it, and they were way off the plate.
They mentioned Smarja played football at Notre Dame, and he was asked often if he was going to be the next Bo Jackson. He said Bo Jackson was in a class by himself. Yeah, that is the case. He was a marvelous two-sport athlete that excelled in the NFL and in baseball. You know, another guy that gets overlooked in that department a lot is Neon Deion. Deion Sanders. He had quite a career.
Playing both. How about Brian Jordan, too? Brian Jordan played for the Falcons and the Cardinals. And Deion Sanders, of course, played in a World Series.
There goes Bautista. He got a terrific jump, and the ball was fouled back out of play. I mean, it's just amazing that athletes could compete in two major sports at the same time.
Yeah, Bo was in his class all by himself. I think Jeff Smarge is right when he's talking about that. Bo could do things on a baseball field that I've never seen before. Hit a ground ball to the shortstop or the second baseman and beat it out. Ground ball to center field and make it a double.
Martin strikes out, back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff single by Bautista, and Smarge has been able to overcome the impact of those leadoff base hits.
Coming back with a little something extra. He's got a lot in his toolbox that he can go with to pick up these strikeouts. They've been down this year just a little bit. That time it looked like it might have been the curveball that got Russell Martin.
Chris Colomelo has grounded out to second base twice. That's going to be a base hit to left field. Bautista turns at second. He'll stop there. Colomelo with his first hit of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's the first time this afternoon that the Blue Jays have been able to get at least 2 hits in one inning. You mentioned the leadoff hits. They just haven't been able to do anything after that. First time they've had multiple hits in one inning.
They've only had 2 base runners in one inning. They had a walk and a single in the second after 2 were out. Couldn't do anything with that.
Well, he's a hoss out on that mound, Jeff Smarge. He's a big guy, about 6'6". And we told you he's been an Ironman for him for the White Sox this year. For Robin Ventura, he's pitched 8 innings in each of his last 2 starts. So he can go a long way. He's closing in on 100 pitches, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, he hasn't lost a thing off his fastball. His location has been terrific, so there's no reason to make any sorts of move with Smarja. Here's a Kier Carrera, 1 for 2. He has a bunt single this afternoon. Pretty good looking pitch. Blue Jays might have got a break on that pitch. It's 1-1 to Carrera. Don Cooper, he's the pitching coach. He's looking at his pitching charts and say who's next down in that bullpen. There's a broken bat fly ball, but that's going to go into the seats. Now, the Blue Jays have been a terrific offensive team, but boy, they really become a good hitting team here in this ballpark.
Yeah, first of all, this is a great hitter's ballpark. The ball really jumps here, and that's why they're #1 in runs. In American League, doubles, second in home runs, first in on base plus slugging. Plus they got talent up and down the lineup. They've got guys who can swing the bat.
Individually, Josh Donaldson ranks first in home base hits with 38. He's got 10 doubles at home. That's number one. His 9 home runs, also number one for a hitter in their home ballpark. Herrera strikes out. Samardzija strikes out the side. They get a couple of hits, but can't do anything. We'll go to the 7th. Jeff Samardzija shutting out the Blue Jays on 6 hits. The Boston Red Sox will debut Eduardo Rodriguez, the youngster they got from the Baltimore Orioles. He'll pitch tomorrow night against Nick Martinez and the Texas Rangers. It all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 p.m. Pacific right here on Sportsnet 1.
Undefeated Nick Martinez and a very hot hitter in Prince Fielder for the Texas Rangers. That's what scouting is all about. You mentioned the Rodriguez kid pitching for the Boston Red Sox. They got him from Baltimore in the Andrew Miller trade last year. He was in Double-A starting, and now he's going to start in the big leagues.
Marco Estrada misses with the first pitch to Giovanni Soto. Soto's over 2. Boston's going through some transitions. There's talk that Joe Kelly might lose his spot in the rotation and that Pablo Sandoval is going to give up switch hitting.
Switch hitting is just going to go left on left. I've written an article about that today.
Russell Martin wanted that pitch. It was called the ball. It's 2-1. Boston is 21-25. There's a drive to center. Pilar backs up a couple of steps. Soto's retired. Marco Estrada pitching into the 7th. Ryan Tepera faced 2 batters in last night's game. He gave up a double and hit a batter. That was it. He is up and appears to be ready down in the Blue Jays bullpen if needed.
Not going to take him long to get loose today. Marco Estrada at 94 pitches.
Well, Estrada has pitched very well. You factor in the 2 runs that scored in the 3rd. It was a fly ball that Ezequiel Carrera lost in the sun. It counted for 2 runs. And it's been kind of a in and out day as far as the sun goes, and it happened to be one of the brightest moments of the afternoon. Carrera just lost the Abreu pop-up in the sun. It fell for 2 runs.
Yeah. With a couple of outs also that would have ended the inning.
Marco's done a nice job since he has moved into the rotation. This is his 5th start. He's gotten better with each start. Last time out he went 7 innings through 101 pitches. Curveball that's in the dirt, gets away from Martin. John Danks was the starter in yesterday's game. He was up against R.A. Dickey. Jose Abreu hit a home run in that game against Abreu. Against Dickey. Two down. Sanchez grounds out to Goins.
Well, he hasn't lost anything. And you know, because he throws a lot of changeups, and a good changeup, it's a lot less wear and tear on your arm. So 100 pitches to Marco Estrada is like 80.
Yeah, he had problems early on because he had a sprained ankle in the spring. He missed about 2 weeks of work. So the biggest problem he had was with his legs, not necessarily with his arm. Adam Eaton bunts it foul. That had 100 pitches. We mentioned he threw 101 last time out, but I don't think he's showing any signs of wear and tear at all.
No, he still has good command with his pitches, his fastball. He's still putting it in the right spot. He doesn't look like he's getting tired where he can't command the fastball. And again, his changeup, because he throws so many of them, takes some wear and tear off that arm.
Well, that's a pretty good pitch. Eaton stayed on it. It was down and in. Eaton has his second hit of the afternoon. He's 2 for 4. 2 out single here in the 7th.
Pretty good pitch. It really looks like it beat Adam Eaton. The fastball tried to slip it by him on the inner half. It looks like it beats him inside. He just shortens up the swing just a little bit and gets enough of the solid part of the bat to just drop it into center field for his second hit of the afternoon.
Melky Cabrera single to center his last time up. He ripped a high fastball right back over the mound into center field. The Blue Jays are being shut out 3-0. They're the only team in the majors that hasn't been shut out this year. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th, it's Pilar, Goins, and back to the top of the order, Jose Reyes. Blue Jays will go through the meat of their order at least one more time.
I'm rather surprised that Eaton hasn't tried to steal second base.
I thought the same thing. With a 3-run cushion, you'd think that they might try to get him into scoring position.
Take a chance to get an add-on run here in the 7th inning. You know, the changeup is a good pitch to run on too, and he's thrown them 2 in a row right there. He's not getting Eaton at first base a big lead. Looks like he's just trying to time up Marco Estrada.
He only has 1 steal so far this season. 2-2, 2 outs to Melky Cabrera. Bouncing ball, Goins to his left. Throws in time. The inning is over. Marco Estrada, 7 innings. He trails 3-0, looking for some support from his hitters, Pilar, Goins, and Reyes against Samardzija when we come back.
Well, guys, I have a baseball story I can tell forever, and it, of course, involves my drop pop fly last night. And today, Kevin Pillar was kind enough to take a little bit of time with me and show me the proper way to field a pop fly when you are in the camera bay. He says, first thing, you got to get that chair out of the way, get under the ball, make sure you make the play, keep your eyes, and no tweeting while you're sitting in the camera bay. So I think Kevin Pillar was very helpful. I'm waiting for another chance, though, guys. I'm looking for a little redemption here.
Barry, I have talked to Chuck Yeager, but I don't think I can fly a jet.
Are you telling me to stick to my day job?
Yeah. Just sit down there and give us some highlights from time to time, okay?
Will do.
Blue Jays need some runs. Kevin Pillar takes a strike. Pillar has gone 0 for 1 with a walk. He walked with 2 outs in the second. Jeff Samardzija has shut out the Blue Jays on 6 hits.
Got to make something happen, I think, right here. This inning, you got Samardzija. He's at 100 pitches. Probably his last inning right here. Get these guys on. Make something happen. Drop a bunt down if you have to. Any way to get on base.
Got to get something going. 2-1 now. The Blue Jays have had leadoff men aboard. They have had the leadoff man reach in 4 innings so far, but they haven't been able to capitalize.
Yeah, the Samardzija just tightens up and shuts it down.
Little tapper up the third baseline. That's a foul ball. Last pitch was 94 miles an hour. As you had mentioned earlier, he's a horse. It's one of those guys that can take a game and say, okay, this is my game.
Yeah. 118 pitches last outing, 120 the outing before that. I mean, he's big and strong. He can do it.
Hey, another leadoff base hit. Pitch was up and Pillar jumped on it. Leadoff single.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Well, now the Blue Jays got to string some hits together and get a leadoff single from Pillar. That's the 5th time they've had their leadoff man reach today, but they've yet to cross home plate. 7 hits now for the Jays. Second baseman Ryan Goins. He had a good rip and fouls it back. The Blue Jays haven't run a lot, but boy, they have picked their spots very effectively. They've only been caught 4 times all year. They have 26 steals. Kevin Pillar leads the way. He is 7 for 8 in stolen bases.
You know, 2 of those, Buck, were, I think one of them was a hit and run, and one of them, I think the guy got a bad jumper. He missed the sign.
This could be 2, and they throw it away. Once again, a double play ball, and Robin Ventura is going to come out. We are in the 7th inning, so the manager can ask for the umpires to review a play. Pillar hustling to second, as he always does. That's Mark Parent, the bench coach, on the phone. But
what is it with second base today? That's 3 times that plays have been made out there where the runner does not agree. Boy, I think he beat that one just from that shot right there. Not a good play. Not a good play at all.
Pillar, to his credit, this is the way Kevin Pillar plays all the time, and you can see he beats it.
Yeah.
No question about it. Boy, that's a pivotal play, obviously, with Pillar reaching safely at second, so the first 2 are aboard him. And Samardzija knows the impact pitching against this lineup. You can't give the Blue Jays extra outs.
Boy, you go hard just like that to try and beat a play, and you get a hit for your teammate.
Jose Reyes. Now the ball gets away. That's going to take the White Sox out of a double play situation. So back-to-back singles here in the 7th. Now the pitch gets away, and Don Cooper, the pitching coach, is going to come out and try to calm things down a bit.
You know, the whole series, the White Sox defense has really let them down, and it has led to some runs for the Blue Jays. They could have gotten one on that ground ball off the bat of Goins, and now this pitch gets away from Soto, and Pilar and Goins can move up, takes the double play out, and 2 runners in scoring position.
The bullpen is up. That's Jake Petrichka. He pitched a couple of innings in last night's game.
Don Cooper was saying before the game that everybody is available in the bullpen for the Chicago White Sox.
Now the Blue Jays knocking on the door right now. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Reyes at the plate. Reyes is 2 for 3. Takes it down and in.
Boy, if he can get on, then you've got the bases loaded and the heart of the order coming up. Exactly what you were hoping for when Pilar and Goins let off this inning. Get on base.
Blue Jays, the only team in the majors that has not been shut out. Oh, he got a good pitch to hit. That fastball. 2 singles and a pass ball. And then the big bats. Popped over the Blue Jays dugout, out of play. Don Cooper, Robin Ventura contemplating their next move. So Joe McEwing, the infield coach, moving the defense around a bit.
Yeah, the runs on base can't beat them. So they'll play the infield back.
Pilar holds at 3rd. Reyes is thrown out. Pilar made a good move. He was going to be a dead duck if he broke for home. Reyes is out 5-3. That's just the first out of the inning.
Well, your first reaction as a runner is to break towards home, and Pilar gets instructions from Louis Rivera, make the ball go through. If it's in the middle of the diamond, go ahead and go. So he has to hold, and now Josh Donaldson.
0 for 3. Smarja starts him out with a fastball. Last time up, he threw him 2 sliders the first 2 pitches. Former teammates going head to head. And they're similar players.
Gamers, hard-nosed. They come from a football background.
Pilar tags at 3rd. He scores. Goins moves from 2nd to 3rd on the fly ball, and the Blue Jays are on the board. Donaldson, for a moment, looked like he'd hit the home run to right again.
You know, it looked just like last night's game winner to right field. Thought he had the game tied with 1 swing, but Blue Jays will keep that streak of not being shut out. On the sacrifice fly, RBI number 34 for Donaldson.
2 down now for Jose Bautista. Bautista 1 for 3. Off the plate outside.
But Samardzija, to his credit, should be sitting in the dugout right now.
Defense play at second base.
Yeah, that would have been an out. But now he still has to battle with the tying run at the plate.
High fly ball to left. Melky Cabrera calling for it. He makes the catch. Bautista just got underneath it, but the Blue Jays are on the board. We've played 7. White Sox have a 3-1 lead. On 8 hits, he didn't walk a batter and struck out 2. Luke makes his 20th appearance of the season.
Aaron worked in last night's ball game, a very clean inning for the Blue Jays. John Gibbons likes to go to more experienced relievers in these situations. Late in the game, you're facing the middle of the lineup, the heart of the order of the Chicago White Sox, and Aaron Luke will get the shot. Right now in the 8th inning, he follows up what Marco Estrada did, and that's 7 very solid innings for Marco. 3 earned runs, 7 innings, no walks, and really it should be 1 run because the 2 runs scored on a ball that got in the sun. He pitched very effectively this afternoon.
Pitched very well again, and this was his 5th start of the season. He appears to be getting stronger and stronger with each start. So the Blue Jays are down by 2. Luke comes in to face Jose Abreu. Abreu, you might wonder why the left-hander to Abreu. Abreu is hitting .207 against lefty pitching, .289 against right-handers, so Luke has the advantage here.
Uses that changeup to the right-handers a lot.
So much for numbers. Abreu jumps on the first pitch and singles into center off of Luke. For Abreu, that's just his 7th hit off a lefty pitcher this season.
He likes the ball out where he can go get it. And that changeup right there from Aaron play right into his strength.
Might have hit it off the end of the bat. Watch how he reacts to this. It is right off the end of the bat, and that stung a bit, but he'll take the hit for sure. The Roach now, left-handed bat.
Time for another piece of wood. This will be an interesting play by the Blue Jays if LaRoche hits a ground ball to the right side of the infield. They've got the 3 infielders on the right side, and they're talking amongst themselves, Goins and Reyes, how they're going to be able to try and turn this double play. Reyes will be coming from an unfamiliar area. He's playing right behind the bag, and if there's a ground ball to Goins, well, now they're talking to each other, and they're saying, okay, if it's a ground ball to Ryan Goins, it's going to be Josh Donaldson who's going to take the throw. More conventional way coming across the bag.
Strike 3 call. LaRoche is retired. Luke strikes him out. So now the infield will straighten up to a more conventional alignment for Alexei Ramirez.
Might have been looking for an off-speed pitch and crossed him up. threw a fastball right down the middle. Just the third strikeout this afternoon by a Blue Jay pitcher.
Estrada didn't walk a batter and struck out Chu. Luke gets ahead of Ramirez. That's line foul. 0-2. Ramirez has had the collar today. He's 0 for 3. Strike 3 call. Back-to-back called strike 3s. 2 down. Now it's time for the drive the game. It's presented by Acura. Luxury begins with the new 8-speed dual clutch 2016 Acura ILX. Catch it if you can.
Here's the difference in the game right here. A couple of runners on, 2 outs. Jose Abreu, he's going to get credited with a double here, but this is a fly ball to the outfield. Carrera battles the sun, cannot come up with it. 2 runs will score. And the White Sox have a 2-run lead.
Difference in the game right there. That pop fly that fell safely to the ground. That was with 2 outs. J.B. Shucks had a good day. He's been on base all 3 times. 2 singles. He reached on an air in the 4th. Good inning for Luke. Leadoff single, nothing more. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. The Jays are down by 2. It's the 3-1 Chicago lead. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zong.
Over in the Jays Care Community Clubhouse, our folks from Kids Up Front. Beautiful day for baseball here at Rogers Center. Great day for the kids to get out and enjoy a ball game. Puck?
Well, it sure is, and we're glad to have you here. Hope you're having a good time, and the time will get better if the Blue Jays can get to Jake Petrichka. Comes in after pitching last night, threw the ball very well last night.
Yes, he did in last night's ball game. This is his 16th game of the season. Petrichka, he had his streak end at 6 consecutive scoreless appearances. He gave up an RBI double to Jose Bautista. That was in the 7th inning. Good fastball, good sinker. He's got good movement on the fastball and a little bit of a slider. When he is on, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs.
That RBI double by Bautista gave the Blue Jays a 7-6 lead at the time.
You know, when you've got a guy like this, he saved some games last year, closed some games for the Chicago White Sox last year. With the signing of David Robertson, he moves into the 8th inning as the setup man. Throws a lot of ground ball outs, an ideal type of number 8 hitter. He'll get his share of strikeouts, but he won't give up the home run.
Strike right at the bottom of the strike zone, 1-1. Encarnacion faced Petrichka last night. He flied out to right field. Ground ball. Ramirez in the hole. It's short. One down. The White Sox trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game series sent Jeff Samardzija to the mound, and he was very good.
Boy, he was. He worked in and out of problems all afternoon long. He had 8 hits in 7 innings. He only had the 1 base on balls, but he made pitches when he had to. Buckled down and got his 5 strikeouts. And right now he is in line for the win, unbeaten since April of 29th.
Russell Martin takes one down and away. Samardzija threw 114 pitches. Martins rips it into left field. Melky Cabrera over to cut it off. Russell Martin's aboard with a 1-out single. Martin's 2 for 4 this afternoon.
Carbon copy of his other hit. Ball on the inner half and pulls it into left field for a base hit.
Chris Colabello. In last night's game, Colabello did not face Petrichka. He was the only Blue Jay that didn't face him in his 2 innings of work. Chris is 1 for 3 today. He singled to left field his last time up. There's another base hit. 1 hopper to Melky Cabrera. Colabello is 2 for 4.
Blue Jays have now out-hit the White Sox. That's their 10th base hit. And they've had him on, I think, all afternoon. They just have not been able to bring him around. And now, after that base hit by Colabello, it looks like they're going to go to the bench.
Justin Smoke, he grabs a bat, comes out to the on-deck circle. Smoke will bat for Carrera, who is 1 for 3. Smoke's been a good pinch hitter for the Jays. He's 3 for 9. He has more pinch hit at bats than anybody on the Jays. He has 3 of the 5 Blue Jay pinch hits. And he's got some power. Smoke has 3 home runs and 11 RBIs.
Right, he goes up there swinging too. He doesn't get cheated. He would have been down in the tunnel, hitting off of a tee, getting loose, looking for this situation right here. They'll announce early on that Smoke, you know, if it gets down to this part of the order and these guys are on, you're going to pinch hit. So he is announced into the ball game, and that brings Robin Ventura.
Well, Smoke is a switch hitter, so Ventura is going out to talk to Petrichka. He's made no signs yet to the bullpen.
Zach Duke just got up right when that base hit by Colabello landed in the outfield. So the left-hander is not ready, so it's going to be the right-hander.
So the right-hander, Zach Putnam, will come in to face Smoke. Justin Smoke, a home run on Monday night. pitcher in the ballgame is the right-hander Zach Putnam. He makes his 17th appearance of the season, and lefties, righties, the numbers are about the same against Putnam.
Check out the strikeouts per 9 innings. That's what he does. That's why he is in the game, and he's got very good command. He's only had 5 walks this year. For Putnam, sinking two-seam fastball and a tight curveball. So they are looking for a ground out, for a double play, or a strikeout, and they're going to bring in Zach Putnam to try and do that.
Martin and Colabella both singled with 1 out there at first and second. Justin Smoke, the batter. Up and away. Smoke started on Sunday and Monday. In those 2 games, he went 3 for 7, hit a home run in the first inning on Monday night. Just on the outside corner. Blue Jays have out-hit Chicago 10-9. There's a base hit to right field. Russell Martin's being waved as they'll concede the run. No thought at all of making a throw to the plate. Now the tying runs at second. 4th pinch hit, base hit for Smoke as Russell Martin comes in to score. It's a 1-run game.
He comes off that bench ready to swing that bat. And they were playing deep because he represented the go-ahead run. So the outfield, that was picked up by Luis Rivera. I was watching Martin when he was out there during the pitching change. He was trying to shake something off on his ankle. They send him anyway. You can see him just come in very gingerly towards home. But Justin Smoke comes up with a big base hit. Here comes Russell. Luis Rivera says he's playing deep, so I will send him. And the Blue Jays are down by 1.
You can see Martin very gingerly crossing home plate. Kevin Pillar takes strike 1. Pillar singled and scored in the 7th. Three straight hits after 1 out. Pillar's behind 0-2. The White Sox just average arms in the outfield. Nothing special. Colabello, just barely average speed as a runner at second. He represents the tying run. Ground ball. Beckham goes to second for 1. Pillar beats the return. The inning's alive. Good slide by Smoke at second. He was all over Sanchez.
Boy, Gordon Beckham has played some third base this series. Looked like it was going to be a base hit for Kevin Pillar. Very quickly gets to it and gets up and throws a strike. But Kevin Pillar runs too well. Sanchez cannot turn it, and the Blue Jays inning is still alive.
Well, there are 2 outs. Smoke is out at second, but he put a good slide in on Sanchez, and Putnam is out. Zach Duke into the game. Sox, Zach Duke will be the third pitcher to work this inning. Duke pitched 2/3 of an inning last night, gave up a double to Chris Colabello, and then got 2 outs.
And it plays right into the Blue Jays' hand. Robin Ventura is doing everything to try and stop the bleeding here. Patricia gets an out, Putnam gets an out. Now he's looking for an out from his left-hander. So John Gibbons is going to counter that move by going to his bench.
Danny Valencia will come off the bench, and he will bat for Ryan Goins. Goins finishes up 1 for 3. Valencia on in this situation. Obviously, the dangerous right-handed bat against the left-hander, Zach Duke. Valencia, a .417 average against lefty pitching.
Puts him in the hole right away. Valencia thought that ball was down.
Smoke had a pinch hit RBI single in this inning. Valencia 0 for 6 as a pinch hitter. Now he's behind 0-2. He's got a battle now. One thing this inning has done, not only have the Blue Jays scored a run, but now they're guaranteed to get the top of the order to the plate in the 9th.
And if it stays like that, we might have the carbon copy of what we saw yesterday. The same matchups.
Josh Tolley's got his catcher's gear on like he's coming into the game. Maybe Martin can't continue because of some apparent leg injury. 1-2, 2 outs. Valencia hanging tough against Duke.
Well, maybe. Well, we'll see. There's all kind of possibilities when you're pinch hitting and you're going to your bench. We'll see what happens.
You think Martin might play the infield?
That's a possibility if he's okay.
Outside, 2-2. The Blue Jays are down by a run, 3-2 Chicago. Oh, what a play by Abreu. Valencia was robbed. Duke gets out of it. The Blue Jays strand a pair, but they have closed the gap. Abreu, a terrific defender. This looks like extra bases, but Abreu backhands it and turns it into an easy play. We'll go to the 9th. Chicago up by a run. Have a 3-2 lead. He comes in to start the 9th inning. Josh Tolley takes over behind the plate. That's not because Russell Martin's out of the game. It's because Russell Martin has taken over at second base. So the wheels are spinning. Danny Valencia stays in the game. He is in right field. So John Gibbons, probably after last night's game, thinking about all of the different options he has, and Martin gives you a lot of versatility.
And Steve Tolleson tweaked his groin in yesterday's game, so we're not sure if he is available or not, but it doesn't look like it. So Russell gets a shot at second base.
Gordon Beckham fouls off the first pitch. Cecil jumps ahead of him. It'll be Beckham, Soto, and Sanchez, the bottom three in the White Sox order. Brett Cecil on to keep it a one-run game. Good breaking ball.
Nasty. This is the first time that the White Sox have had a chance to look at Brett Cecil. Last time he worked was 5 days ago. That was against the Mariners. He had an inning, a hit, and a strikeout.
The last time Russell Martin played on the infield, he played third base on May 5th, 2013 for Pittsburgh against Washington. Bouncing ball. Tough play for Donaldson. He can't come up with it. Leadoff man's aboard in the ninth. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. A ninth inning home run, and that was the pitcher's duel we expected. Seattle gets 3 hits, and that was it. Tampa Bay out hit Seattle 4-3, but they home run by Cruz in the ninth. The difference in the game.
Archer and King Felix, that must have been a lot of fun. Not for the hitters, but for the fans. Another one here, 3-2.
Chris Archer goes 8 innings, allows 2 hits, strikes out 12, and didn't walk a batter. Ends up with a no decision. Giovanni Soto cut on and missed 0-1. Felix Hernandez goes 9 innings, 4 hits, shutout, walked 1, struck out 8. He's 8-1 with a 191 earned run average.
And we saw him gut it out here with that ankle injury. He rolled it a couple of times his last couple of starts. I guess the ankle was fine today.
I think everything was fine today. For Cruz, that's his 18th home run. He has 38 ribbies. Josh Tolley catching Brett Cecil. Tolley, of course, started and played the whole game yesterday. Had a 3-hit game. Finished up 3 for 4, scored 3 runs, drove in a run. He had a big day. Ground ball bouncing into left field. Soto is aboard. Back-to-back hits.
Boy, that's bad luck right there. He jams Beckham and gets a little weak ground ball, but the ball spins away from Donaldson, and now he gets Soto, who's swinging away right off the dirt in front of home plate and bounces over Donaldson for another hit. He's made 2 good pitches, and now he's got a pitch with 2 on and no out.
That looked like it had a chance to be a double play. So the number 9 hitter is the second baseman, Carlos Sanchez. He's a switch hitter. About right-handed for the first time this afternoon. He is 1 for 3.
Blue Jays are expecting the bunt. They are in at the corners, and they are shallow in the middle of the diamond.
Sanchez has one sacrifice that came batting left-handed. He's 2 for 4 as a right-handed bat. He's showing bunt early. And he bunts it in the air, but that's going to be into the seats. Boy, Encarnacion really broke quickly and was right down the neck of Sanchez.
Well, the way they're going to play this, Brett Cecil falls off towards the third base side. So he's got the third base side, and Encarnacion is going to be hard charging from the right side. Anything down, they're going to try and get that runner at third base. Josh Donaldson, the third baseman, will read the bunt from Sanchez. If he feels that Cecil can't get the ball, he's going to have to call him off.
Bunted to third base, but foul. 0-2. Don't be surprised if the White Sox don't try another bunt even with 2 strikes in an effort to stay out of a possible double play. Then again, you could rethink that strategy because the on-deck batter is a left-handed hitter, Adam Eaton.
Yeah. Lots of choices here for both managers. I think one way or another, you got to throw this guy a breaking ball, don't you?
Yeah.
0-2.
Blue Jay still looking for the bunt, and he squares early. Pulls the bat back. Remember, Russell Martin is playing at second base, but as a catcher, he's involved in all the bunt defenses, so he understands what his assignment is, and you can bet Encarnacion and Reyes will remind him as well.
He knows where to go. Joe McEwing, the third base coach for the Chicago White Sox, called Carlos Sanchez down. I don't know if they wanted to take the bunt sign off and he missed a sign. Told him, if you're going to bunt, don't show it so early. You're going to give the play away.
Not bunting. Swings and chops it foul. The last time Russell Martin played second base was 2011 in an August 20th game at Minnesota. Played 2 innings. So he's been out there, and he has talked about his desires to play on the infield.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. He understands it. He gets it. I want to see him turn a double play.
So does Russell. So you have to think on a comebacker that Reyes would have the coverage just to keep Martin's involvement at a minimum. 1-2, nobody out. Foul back. Yeah, that first bunt attempt with 2 strikes was a mistake.
Yeah, and I think that's why McEwing went down there to talk to him, just to verbally tell him, hey, swing away.
And the rookie probably thought he was doing a good thing, but he didn't factor in that Eaton's a left-handed bat behind him against Cecil. Another 1-2 pitch from Cecil. Cut on and miss. Big strikeout for Cecil. The Blue Jays are trying to win their 4th game in a row for the first time this season. A high fastball to Sanchez.
Yeah, sometimes when you've got a guy on the ropes like that, you don't have to throw a strike. He goes upstairs to pick up the strikeout.
Adam Eaton, 2 for 4 afternoon. Eaton has not faced Cecil in the past. Eaton has interesting splits this year. He's hit .231 coming into this game against right-handers and left-handers.
But he's got a good eye. And he has worked himself into account where he'll probably get a fastball.
Three and 0 now. Switch hitting Melky Cabrera is on deck. There's a strike. It's now 3-1. Beckham's at second, Soto's at first. Strike 2.
Eaton doing his job, making that pitcher work, and he's asking if that was high enough. It's only 5'8". Tried to tuck underneath that one.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Martin flips to Reyes. No time to turn two. Russell Martin kept it on the infield. They get the force out at second.
Pretty nice play by Russell Martin. Watch him at the top of your screen just to the right. He feels the ball, gives a nice feed to Reyes. But he cannot finish it off.
No problem at all for Russell Martin. 2 down now. Melky Cabrera will step in against Brett Cecil. Runners at the corners. Blue Jays trying to keep it a 1-run deficit.
Melky has had success against Brett Cecil in the past. He's faced him 7 times. He's had 3 hits against him.
Strike 1. What would you do if Eaton takes off for second? Would you throw through or hold the ball?
I would hold the ball.
I think I agree with you.
The only way he'd be running is if they're trying to steal a run. And if they're going to do it, this is the time to do it right here.
Yeah, you do it with 2 strikes and 2 outs.
And you've got a left-handed pitcher on the mound. His back is to the runner at third base, so Beckham, if they do decide to do that, it's got to get a big lead.
David Robertson is ready. Broken bat. Donaldson at third will take his time. The inning is over. Brett Cecil pitches around back-to-back singles to start the inning. The Blue Jays will go to the bottom of the ninth. They're down by a run. David Robertson ready to come in.
Special 30-minute special on Russell Martin. It is World Citizen Stephen Brunt doing a fantastic job with Mr. Martin, taking us way back to his childhood, through his years in the majors, and of course along with the Toronto Blue Jays in that wonderful moment with him and his father in Montreal. World Citizen with Russell Martin coming up next here on Sportsnet. Buck?
Should be a very interesting documentary. It's getting interesting now. David Robertson, he was saddled with the loss in last night's game. His second blown save of the season. He's on trying to protect a 3-2 lead for Jeff Samardzija.
Here we go again. Same scenario as we saw in last night's game. Robertson trying to hold the lead for the White Sox, and he will face Jose Reyes in the top of the order for the Blue Jays. It was Reyes who really set that whole inning up, I thought, with the double to right field.
After a Josh Thole singled, Reyes hit the double of second and third, and Donaldson delivered. Reyes takes strike one from Robertson. The Blue Jays were shut out until the seventh. They scored one in the seventh, one in the eighth. A high breaking ball. Reyes thought it was upstairs, and it might have been. Robertson used cutter last night to Donaldson. That's the ball he hit out of the ballpark. And Reyes strikes out. Nasty curveball. One down. So Josh Donaldson last night with two aboard and nobody out facing David Robertson.
Just trying to put a good swing on a pitch. It was a cutter. They wanted it away. It stayed in the middle of the plate, and Josh does this. 3 runs. Blue Jays have a walk-off win, and an exciting win for the Blue Jays. And here it is again.
Head to head. Donaldson had a sacrifice fly in the seventh. He drove in the first Blue Jay run. Justin Smoke drove in the second with a pinch single.
That was the first hit that Josh Donaldson has had against David Robertson in his career.
2-0. Bautista is next. He mentioned this trio of sluggers, Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion. Tough to work your way through. Did he do it again? High and deep, yes, sir. Tie ball game. Donaldson with his 13th home run has tied it up here in the ninth.
You know, there's just something about certain guys who love the limelight, and they love having that pressure on them when it counts. And I think Josh Donaldson is one of those guys. He's got that intensity. He's a clutch guy. He's not afraid to fail. And I think that's the main thing that you want when a guy who comes up with these types of big base hits, you're not afraid to fail. That is a high cutter, and he drills it to left field.
Bautista now behind 0-1. He pops it up. Center of the diamond, the second baseman, Sanchez, calls for it.
You know, Buck, there are some guys who don't like the pressure. It just eats them up inside. Josh Donaldson, I think, loves it. I think he loves having that spotlight on him. He says, I can bear down just a little bit more. I can focus and concentrate. And he's showing why he's such a good baseball player.
That's why he is always in the MVP conversation. Edwin Encarnacion, 0 for 4. The last time the Blue Jays had back-to-back walk-off wins was way back in July of 1991. Roberto Alomar scored on an error by the Mariners, and the next game Rance Mulliniks had an RBI walk-off single to beat the Twins.
I remember that. I was here. Roberto Osuna is now up. He got up right when the inning started, and now he's starting to crank it up after that home run by Josh Donaldson.
2-0. Middle. We took a home run cut. Encarnacion has 12 home runs. Donaldson just hit his 13th.
Blue Jays are second in baseball in slugging percentage, and they're showing you why. They're never out of a game.
Right at the knees. Robertson, home runs in back-to-back games, just the second and third home runs he's allowed this season. Russell Martin stayed in the game at second base as they moved everybody around. He's played second base and he is on deck. Edwin Encarnacion is 0 for his last 12.
He's due. Let's go. He had a pitch to hit.
Boy, did he ever.
Ooh, hanging curveball.
Up and in. Jeff Samardzija ends up with a no decision. 7 strong innings. He allowed just 1 run. It was an unearned run. Blue Jays have out-hit the White Sox 12-11 now.
That's 29 no decisions now for Samardzija in the last couple seasons.
So fly ball to right. J.B. Shuck over near the foul line and makes the catch. The inning is over, but we'll go the extra innings because of Josh Donaldson. Donaldson with 1 out against Robertson for a second straight game takes Robertson deep. Home run number 13. It's a 3-3 game.
June the 10th when they take on the Marlins at 12:37, and it's Blue Jays swing into summer safety day. The first 25,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays team baseball card set. Go to BlueJays.com for more. And Buck, as the weather heats up, so too do the Toronto Blue Jays, especially Josh Donaldson. That was something to see.
How about that? Donaldson with a home run and 2 more RBIs today. He's got 13 homers and 35 RBIs. He's now scored 39 runs. Roberto Osuna into the game.
This is 4 times now in 5 days that Osuna has been in the ballgame for the Blue Jays. They love to use him. 21 games. Josh Donaldson sends this one to extra inning. Let's see if the Blue Jays now can win it.
Osuna into the game because of where the Blue Jays are in the White Sox batting order.
Right.
You got 3, 4, and 5. Abreu, LaRoche, and Ramirez.
Gibby was talking about him today, about how good he has been. He's been very reliable for him. He can go 2 innings, but he's been having to use him a lot. The only time he has been off in the last 5 days was the complete game win by Drew Hutchison.
He's ahead of Abreu, 0-2. Pat, you talk about his fastball all the time, and I think you characterize it very well. It's got terrific finish to it.
Yes, finish and carry. That as you watch it go towards home plate, it doesn't dive off or fall off. He's able to finish that ball through the strike zone. He can carry it through the zone.
There's a deep drive to right field. This ball is hit a long way. It is off the wall. Danny Valencia tracking it down. Abreu's headed for third. Here's the throw from Valencia. It is not in time. Donaldson stays with Abreu in case he lost contact, but Abreu with a leadoff triple here in the 10th.
Looked like a slider from Osuna that took him to right field. Abreu stays on that one and drives it to right field. Now Valencia thinks he has a shot at catching this and then gets a little bit too close to the wall, and that ball bounces over his head. Abreu with his head, he was running up with his head up, makes it all the way to third base.
Second triple of the season for Abreu. That'll bring the infield in. Donaldson, Reyes, Martin, and Encarnacion on the infield. Russell Martin playing at second base. Two pitches inside. It's 2-0. Adam LaRoche, the DH. He has officially gone 1 for 3. Got hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning by Marco Estrada.
He has an excellent eye at the plate. Doesn't go out of the strike zone to go fish for balls.
There's a base hit to right. The White Sox are going to take the lead. LaRoche drives in Abreu from third. Chicago leads it 4-3.
He is starting to heat up. LaRoche is going to be a pinch runner for Adam LaRoche. He's starting to heat up. Got off to an awful start. He's starting to swing a hot bat for the White Sox. Fastball in a fastball count, and watch how he's able to get the bat through. That's a nice level swing and an RBI.
Emilio Bonifacio comes off the bench to run at first base for Adam LaRoche, who picks up his 17th RBI of the season. It's 4-3 Chicago. Bonifacio can run. They chase him back to first base. Bonifacio, he hasn't had a stolen base yet. He's 0 for 1. Abreu with his second triple has scored the go-ahead run.
That's not necessarily pinch running to get a stolen base, but if you hit a ball into the gap, you want to make sure you have a guy out there who can score or move up on a short wild pitch, score on a short sacrifice fly. So that's the right move. Get some more speed in there.
Alexei Ramirez, the shortstop, has gone 0 for 4 so far this afternoon. So fly ball to left. Colabella going back. It's at the track. It's going to be caught, and tagging at first is Bonifacio. The throw is not in time as the pinch runner moves up.
And that's why you bring in the pitch runner who can run just a little bit more. Now he's in scoring position. He read that beautifully. Read that that ball was not going to go out. It's not going to go off the wall, that it's going to be caught deep on the warning track. So with his speed, he tags up and gets into scoring position.
So Tolley goes out to have a chat with Osuna. J.B. Shuck has had a productive afternoon, couple of hits. He's been on base 3 times. Bonifacio now in scoring position at second. First pitch swinging is Shuck. It's a fly ball to right. Valencia coming in. He makes the catch. Now there are 2 outs. This is only the second extra inning game the Blue Jays have played. They won the other extra inning game. That was a 10-inning game right here at Rogers Center. A walk-off win over the Atlanta Braves 6-5. Gordon Beckham now with 2 outs and a runner at second.
Boy, he was getting a huge lead out at second base. The infield playing back just to knock anything down. Bonifacio with that good speed. Look at him just wander off second base.
Osuna jumps ahead of Beckham. Beckham had an infield single in the 9th. First of 2 singles to start the inning, but Brett Cecil then got a strikeout, a fielder's choice, and a ground out to strand a pair. Osuna ahead 0-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 10th, Russell Martin, Chris Colabello, and Josh Tolley, the scheduled batters. Martin and Colabello both with 2 hit days. Tolley has yet to bat in this game. That's a base hit. That's going to score another run. Bonifacio's around third. He'll score. Beckham will end up at second, standing up with a double. Boy, nice piece of hitting. He just took that ball down and away and stroked it inside the bag at first.
He's had a multi-hit game now. Gordon Beckham just protecting that plate. Fastball on the outer half, shorten it up. Look at it, he doesn't even finish his swing. He just uses his hands. Hits it by Encarnacion in the bag for extra bases.
5-3 Chicago. Giovanni Soto fouls off the first pitch. Now it's 0-2. Outside. There's strike 3. Osuna gives up 2 runs on 3 hits. And the White Sox take a 5-3 lead. Russell Martin, Chris Colabello, and Josh Tolley. against the Twins against Trevor May. That'll be on Sportsnet 1, a first of 3, then Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon, a 3-game series with the Twins. So make sure you join us on Friday night. It all starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So Blue Jays, they trail again by 2. Russell Martin, Chris Colabello, and Josh Tolley, the scheduled batters. The Blue Jays have just one player on the bench, and that's Steve Tolleson, and his availability is questionable. He left yesterday's game with a slight groin injury. Martin is 2 for 4 this afternoon. Robertson gave up the solo home run in the 9th to Josh Donaldson. That tied it. That's his 3rd blown save of the season.
2nd in 2 nights. And how bad do they want this one?
That's off the end of the bat. Russell Martin is retired. 1 down.
Got David Robertson back out there for his 2nd inning. There's 16 pitches in that inning, giving up that run to the Blue Jays. And now in line for the win.
The Orioles and the White Sox will play a doubleheader tomorrow. And it's a traditional doubleheader. Game 2 will follow the first game 30 minutes after the conclusion of game number 1. So the White Sox are going to have a long afternoon tomorrow in Baltimore. This is the first time this season that David Robertson will pitch more than an inning. He closed out the 8th inning in last night's game, but didn't get an out in the 9th. There's Colabello. Boy, there's some hook on that ball. He hooked it right past Alexei Ramirez, his 3rd hit of the game.
Boy, if he stayed right there, the ball would have come right to him. You can see the reaction from the shortstop, Ramirez. Watch him. Thinks this ball's to his left. He goes to his left, and now trips and falls. And if he didn't move, that ball would have been right at him. But Colabello now has 3 hits.
13 hits on this 10-game homestand. .351 average for Colabello. Josh Tolley, we mentioned his 3-hit game last night. This is his first at bat of this ball game.
He got it all started last night with an 0-2 curveball base hit to right field.
They mentioned a doubleheader from Baltimore. They will both be on Sportsnet. Game 1, which will feature Chris Sale, will be on Sportsnet. And Game 2 will be Sportsnet 1. So the doubleheader from Baltimore will be available on Sportsnet. 1 o'clock start for Game 1. Josh Tolley behind 1-2.
This is right where we were last night. He threw him a curveball. See if he goes back to it. No, reaches back for a little something extra. He's got great strikeouts stuff, Robertson. He's always among the league leaders in strikeouts per 9 innings.
Tolley got the single on Robertson to start that 9th inning rally. Off the plate, full count.
Just can't bring that cutter back to the outside part of the plate. Kevin Pillar waiting on deck to get his chance.
(3-2). Ball 4. Time runs aboard. Robin Ventura is out of the White Sox dugout. David Robertson has thrown 26 pitches in this game.
Do you go out there and you ask him, hey, you got one more? It looks like he's asking how he's feeling.
That's exactly what he asked him, and he got the answer he was looking for. I'm fine. You bet Robertson's still stinging from that lone save last night, and today wants to stay out there and wrap this thing up.
Yeah, finish this thing off. So the manager, Ventura, does the right thing. Asked him how he is. He says, I'm fine. What else are you going to do as manager?
Leave him out there.
Leave
Kevin
him out
Pillar, 1 for 3 afternoon. The Blue Jays don't have great speed on the bases. Colabello at second and Tolle at first. 1 out. A little cutter just off the plate.
At 93 miles an hour. He's the kind of guy, I think, as a right-hander, you got to look for that ball away.
That's what Donaldson did last night. Went away and hit a home run to right. Tonight he pulled it to left. Robertson, by his own admission, using more cutters this year than curveballs. Pillar strikes out, 2 down. So Danny Valencia will bat for a second time. There's a look at that cut fastball. Just a little bit of movement off the plate.
Well, it's a perfect view of what it looks like. As a pitcher, you got to get your fingers wrapped around that ball, get on top of it, and then you just pull it down. Good movement. That one was 94.
Danny Valencia hit a hot shot to the first baseman in his only at bat back in the 8th inning, and Abreu backhanded it and made a nice play. Two outs, 2 on. The Blue Jays battled back after being shut out through 6 innings, tied it up in the bottom of the 9th.
Just low, outfield very deep. Tying run is at first base. You don't want anything over your head here. Keep everything in front of you. There's the outfield for the White Sox. Infield deep also. Trying to keep that ball in the infield.
Way outside. Leadoff man is on deck. Jose Reyes. Boy, it didn't have to be. Valencia questioning that call. You see it was low, just where the other pitch was called a ball. Now it's 2-2. Should have been 3-1.
Yeah, that's his argument right there. He said, well, you threw the second pitch was down there and you called it a ball. Same pitch and you called it a strike. Now he's got a battle.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Bouncing ball to short. Ramirez flips to second. That's the ball game. The Blue Jays tied it up in the 9th, but the White Sox scored 2 in the top of the 10th to win the final game of this series. The Blue Jays win the series 2-1 and finish up the 10-game homestand 5-5.
Great starting pitching by Jeff Samardzija for the White Sox. Some clutch hitting by the Blue Jays late, but the White Sox will take this one. Blue Jays still take the series. Get an off day tomorrow and then back out on the road.
We will see you again from Minneapolis on Friday night, first of 3 against the Twins. A reminder coming up next, Russell Martin, World Citizens. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Friday night.